In this course, you will learn the fundamentals of cybersecurity and ethical hacking using Kali Linux, and you'll learn how to protect systems from vulnerabilities. This beginner-friendly, practical, and hands-on course from Sunny covers essential techniques, tools, and ethical considerations. This course covers key topics like penetration testing, network security, and how to determine system vulnerabilities.
Hello and welcome to this course where you are gonna learn hands-on cybersecurity and ethical hacking from scratch. This course is suitable for beginners who have no prior knowledge of ethical hacking. Everything will be taught from level 0. By the end of this course, you will be very comfortable with Linux command line, various attacking tools, wireless security, defensive tools, Nmap, Wireshark, and many more tools. My name is Sunny Malu. I am a cybersecurity consultant and reverse engineer. I will be your instructor for this course. Now let me quickly walk you through the course curriculum and what you will learn in this course. We will start with the fundamentals of Kali Linux, such as copying, removing, renaming files, how to navigate your file system efficiently. Then we will move to Linux administration, where you will learn the sudo command, root user, how to create, remove, install, and uninstall applications, and more. Once fundamentals are done, we will move on to wireless security, where you are gonna learn how to perform Wi-Fi penetration testing and defend against Wi-Fi attacks. Then we will move to the Wireshark, which is one of the most important tools in cybersecurity, and learn how to use it. We will also cover Nmap and many more tools. Now let's dive into the practicals. We are going to use Kali Linux operating system. If you don't have Kali Linux installed, I have a separate video on my channel for Kali Linux installation, so check that out first. Now let's dive into the practicals. Before we dive into the practicals, let me briefly explain what Kali Linux is. Kali Linux is an operating system that is specifically built for penetration testing and cybersecurity tasks. It is widely used for ethical hacking and cybersecurity tasks such as penetration testing, security research, computer forensic, and reverse engineering. It has more than 300 pre-installed hacking and forensic tools. Before we start using all the fancy tools, we need to learn the fundamentals of its command line. Now let's dive into the practicals. If you have not installed Kali Linux yet, I have covered the installation process in a separate video on my channel. Please watch that video first. If you want to learn beyond the basics, I have an advanced cybersecurity course on Udemy. Feel free to check it out. The link is in the description. Now, first thing that we need to do is open the terminal. There are multiple ways to open the terminal. The easiest among all is press Ctrl plus Alt plus T together and it should open up the terminal. This is the terminal, or you can click on the applications icon or menu, and in the search box type terminal, click on terminal emulator, or you can directly click on the terminals icon at the taskbar. Here it is, click on it and it will definitely open up the terminal. Now before executing any commands, I'm gonna change the font size. As you can see, the fonts are barely visible. So go to the file, click on preferences, click on appearance tab and click on the change button and click on up arrow to increase the font size. I'm gonna set it to 13. 13 works for me. Click on OK, click on OK. As you can see now, we have a much more readable font size. When we open the terminal, we are presented with these two names separated by this symbol. Now this symbol can be anything. It is just a separator which separates these two names. Now name on your left side is the user name who is currently logged in. So type whoami command, press enter. Whoami command displays the currently logged in user. So the current logged in user is Dimalu. It means Dimalu is using the system. Name on your right side is the host name or your system name. Type host name command. It displays the host name. Press enter. Now type clear. Clear command, as the name suggests, it clears the terminal. Press enter. Now next command that I'm gonna type is date. Date prints the current date and time. Press enter. As you can see, this is the current date. I'm recording this video on this date. Now type pwd. Pwd stands for present working directory. It displays your present working directory where you are in your file system. Press enter. As you can see, my current working directory is Dimalu. Dimalu is the home directory for the user Dimalu. And we also have this $ symbol, right? It also has a meaning. The $ essentially represents the regular or normal users. In Linux, there are two types of users, root user and regular users. The $ represents the regular users. For now, you don't have to worry about users. We will get back to users in a dedicated section. The currently logged in user, which is Dimalu, is also a regular user. Now, before wrapping up this video, let me execute history command. The history command displays all the commands that you have executed previously. Press enter. As you can see, this is the list of commands that have been executed on this freshly installed Kali Linux machine. ls is an essential Linux command. ls stands for list or listing. As the name suggests, it is used to list or display files and directories. You can view or check the contents of a specific directory or multiple directories with ls command. Now let's dive into the practicals. So type ls, press enter. By default, the ls command displays all the files and directories in your current working directory. So these are the files and directories in my current working directory, which is home. And here we have two colors, right? The blue color and white color. The blue color represents directories and the white color represents files. The white color essentially represents all file types, whether it is .sh file or .txt file, mp4 files, pdf files. All file types are represented by the white color in Kali Linux. Now, the default ls command does not display the hidden files and directories. So if you want to list hidden content, then type ls space -a. -a parameter allows us to display or list all the files and directories, including the hidden files and directories. Press enter. As you can see, guys, we have files and directories that have dot at the beginning. The files and directories that have dot at the beginning, they are the hidden ones. Now let me execute ls again. As you can see, the default ls command displays contents of current working directory. Now I only want to list contents of a specific directory. Let's say I only want to see what is inside the desktop directory. Then type ls. Now specify name of the directory whose content you want to check. Desktop. So this time I am telling ls command that only list contents of this specified directory. It will display what is inside this specified directory, desktop. Press enter. As you can see, this time it is only listing contents of the desktop. Similarly, we can list contents of multiple directories as well. Just separate the directories with a space. Let's say etc. And this time ls command is going to list contents of desktop and the etc directory. Press enter. as you can see, this is the contents of desktop, and this is the contents of etc directory. In this way you can basically list contents of as many directories as you like. Just separate those directories with a space like this. This time it is gonna list contents of these 3 specified directories. Press enter, as you can see, guys. Now the default ls command, as you can see, only displays the file and directory names, right? However, sometimes we want more details such as file size, last modified date, etc. So type ls space -l. -l stands for long listing. It gives us a detailed information about the files and directories. Press enter, and first field from the right displays the directory or file name. Then we have this date and time, right? Now this date and time automatically get updated when you modify a file or directory. In the context of a file, when you modify or edit a file, then this date and time get updated automatically. And in the context of a directory, when you add a new directory or file to a directory, then this date and time get updated. Or if you modify a file within a directory, then the date and time of that particular directory also get updated. Now next field that we have is this. It displays the file size in bytes, which is not very readable to us. So if you want a more readable format for displaying file and directory size, then ls -l and -h. -h stands for human readable. Press enter, as you can see. Now we have file size in kilobytes, megabytes and gigabytes. -h essentially displays file size in kilobytes, gigabytes and megabytes. And you don't have to, write the -h parameter separately. You can simply combine it with -l or other parameters. Press enter, as you can see, it is producing the same result. cd stands for change directory. It is a simple command, as the name tells you. cd allows us to navigate in our file system. So if you want to change directory or location, then we have to use the cd command. So open your terminal. Let me type ls and execute pwd as well. Now my current working directory is home. I'm in my home directory, right? Now let's say I want to switch or change my directory from current working directory to desktop. Then type cd space. Now specify the exact directory name where you want to switch desktop. Press enter, pwd. As you can see, guys, my current working directory has been changed to the desktop. Now if you want to go one directory back, then type cd space 2 dots. It takes us one directory back in our file system. Press enter, pwd, as you can see. Similarly, you can go multiple directories back with cd command. Type cd space 2 dots / 2 dots again. It will take us 2 directories back. Press enter, pwd, as you can see. And you can go as many directories back as you like with cd command. Just separate 2 dots with /, then it takes us that many directories back. Now what happens if you don't specify any directory name to the cd command, right? My current working directory is desktop. Now if I type only cd command and don't provide any directory name, then the cd command by default redirects us to the home directory. So press enter, pwd, as you can see, the current working directory has been changed from desktop to home. Sometimes we unintentionally or mistakenly execute the cd command, which eventually redirects us to the home directory. So if you want to go to your previous working directory, then type cd space and hyphen. It will take me to my previous working directory, which was desktop. So press enter. As you can see guys, my directory has been changed to my previous working directory, which is desktop. In this video, we will learn how to create and modify text files using the Nano text editor. Nano is a terminal-based text editor that allows us to create, open and modify text files directly within the terminal. It is an easy to use and lightweight tool that offers features such as syntax highlighting, line numbering, search and replace, copy cut and paste, among others. In this video, we will cover the fundamentals of Nano. Now, Nano is a tool that you will be using on a daily basis. Now, let's jump into the practicals. Type Nano and press enter. We are inside the Nano text editor. Now Nano is absolutely ready to take the inputs. So let me type a few random text lines. Let's say this is in line number 1. Now press enter for a new line. This is a new line. Press enter again. Third line. And at the bottom, these are the options that we can use with the Nano. First option that we have is Control G. Control plus G is for help. It displays the documentation for Nano in detail. So press Control plus G together, and here we have the detailed information about the Nano. Here we have the description for Nano, what it is and what it does. Now press the down arrow key to scroll through the entire documentation. Here, these are the options that we can use with Nano. So guys, feel free to go through this lengthy documentation. Now to exit out of this documentation, press Q. Then we have Control O. Control O is for write out. Write out simply means saving the content to a file. I have not saved these lines into a file yet. So to save, press Control plus O. Now here, as you can see, file name to write. Specify the file name where you want to save this content. Let me give, let's say, file name dummy.txt. Remember guys, by default, the Nano saves the file in your current working directory. My current working directory is desktop, so this dummy.txt file will be saved in my desktop. Now press enter. As you can see, wrote 4 lines at the top. Here we have the dummy.txt file where the content has been saved. Now to exit out of Nano, press Control plus X. Let me ls to check whether the file has been created or not. As you can see guys, dummy.txt file has been created. Now I want to edit or modify this dummy.txt file using Nano. Type Nano dummy.txt, provide the file name, press enter. Now we have opened the dummy.txt file successfully. Now we can, modify this file however we like. So guys, that's how you can create, save and modify contents of text files using Nano text editor. Now before wrapping up this video, let me show you one trick that you can use for saving time. We can create the file at the beginning when we start Nano. All you need to do is type Nano and specify the file name, new file.txt. Remember, the way Nano works, if the file name that you specify, if it already exists, then it will open the existing file, and if the file does not exist, then Nano will create the file. Press enter. As you can see, a new file.txt has been created, and now we can write content to it. Press enter for new line, press Ctrl O for saving the contents to the file, press Ctrl plus X to exit out of nano ls. As you can see, new file .txt has been created. In this video, we will take a look at the cat command. I can assure you that you will be using it on a daily basis. It is among the core commands of Linux. So what does the cat command do? The cat command is a versatile multi-purpose command that can be used for a variety of tasks, such as creating text files, viewing the content of files, appending text to existing files, etc. The cat stands for concatenation. This is the first video on the cat command. In this video, we will learn how to view the contents of a file and print line numbers as well. Now let's jump into the practicals. Let me ls. I have these two files in my desktop and I want to view contents of let's say this dummy.txt file. So type cat and space. Now specify the file name whose content you want to view or print. I'm gonna go with dummy.txt. So I'm telling cat that display or print the contents of this specified file. Let me press enter. As you can see, guys, this is the contents of this dummy.txt file. Now, one thing that is missing is the line numbers. Cat command does allow us to print line numbers as well, which is a very convenient feature. So type cat, let's say dummy.txt and space -n. It prints the line numbers, as you can see, guys. Now we have a very well formatted output. And we have 6 line numbers, right? This is because these two are the blank lines. Blank lines also get counted. The cat command also allows us to view contents of multiple files. All you have to do is tell the cat command those file names. Let's say cat space dummy.txt, now space d1.txt. So you have to separate the file names with a space. And this time cat command is gonna print contents of dummy.txt file and d1.txt file. Let me press enter. As you can see, guys, this is the contents of first file and this is the contents of d1.txt file. In this way, you can view contents of as many files as you like. Just separate file names with a space, then it will print contents of all the specified files. Now I'm gonna print contents of a file which is located in another directory, right? The d1 and dummy.txt, these files are in my current working directory. I want to print contents of a file which is inside etc directory. The file name is passwd. Now the passwd file stores user account details. All the user accounts details are stored inside this passwd file. Press enter. As you can see, guys, these are the user accounts in my Linux system. I will get back to this passwd file in a dedicated video. We will continue where we left off in the previous video. In this video, we will learn how to create files and append contents to existing files using the cat command. We will also learn how to concatenate multiple files into one. Now let's jump into the practicals. To create a file using cat, type cat. Now type the greater than symbol and specify the file name that you want to create. Let me create dummy.txt. Press enter. As you can notice, we have this cursor. It is essentially waiting for us to input something. Let me input a few random text line. This is a text line. Press enter for a new line. Line number 2. Now to exit out of the cat, press Ctrl plus C. Let me ls. As you can see, the file has been created. Let's check its contents, and these are the exact lines that we wrote inside the dummy.txt file. The cat command works pretty much like the output redirection operator. It overrides the contents of existing file. The way the cat command works, if the file doesn't exist, then it creates that file first and writes content to it, and if the file already exists, then it removes contents of that existing file and only keep or save the new content that you write to it. For example, I already have this file called dummy.txt. So if I write contents to this dummy.txt file, then cat will remove the contents of this existing file and only keep the new content that you write to it. So let me write, let's say this is a dummy file, press enter. Let me exit out of the cat, ls, and let's check its contents. As you can see, the existing content has been overwritten or removed. It only kept the new content. So if you want to keep the existing content and append new content at the end, then we have to use two greater than signs like this. Now specify the file name dummy.txt, press enter, line number 2, press enter, line 3. Now what the cat command will do is it will keep the existing content and the new content will be appended at the end of the file because we are using two greater than signs. Let me exit out of the cat, ls cat dummy.txt. As you can see, the existing content is still there and new content has been appended at the end of the file. So guys, that's how you can avoid content overwriting. Now let's learn how to concatenate multiple files into one. Let me change my directory to desktop where I already have the multiple files. I have these two files. Let me first check their contents. This is the contents of d1.txt and this is the contents of dummy.txt. I want to merge contents of both of these files into one, which is very easy. Type cat and specify the file names. Let's say d1.txt. Now write the greater than sign, then specify the file name where you want to merge the contents. So what the cat command is gonna do, it will take the contents of the files that you specify before the greater than sign, then merge contents of these two files into this specified file merged.txt. Press enter, ls. The file merged.txt has been created. As you can see, let me cat out its contents, and this is the contents of merge.txt file. Remember, when you merge the contents with cat, it doesn't remove or alter the contents of the files. It only takes the contents of those files, then save that into the file where you merge it. In this video, we will learn how to create directories or folders in Linux. Basically, folders are called directories in Linux. Now let's jump into the practicals. Type make dir. Make dir is short for make directory. Now you have to specify the directory name that you want to create. Let me create, let's say, dummy. So I am basically telling the make directory command to create this dummy directory. That's as simple as that. Press enter, ls. As you can see, dummy directory has been created. Now let's create multiple directories with a single make dir command. Type make dir d1 d1 space d2. This time make dir command will create these two directories. Just separate the directory names with a space. Let me press enter ls. As you can see, d2 and d1 directories have been created. Now what I want is to create a directory within a directory. I want to create a tree of directories. For example, I want to create a directory called Sunny, and inside Sunny I want to create subdirectory called Dimalu. So type make dir Sunny slash Dimalu, press enter, and we have an error, can't create directory, because if you want to create a directory within a directory, then we have to specify -p option. -p stands for parent. It creates a directory within a directory. So if I press enter this time ls, as you can see, the Sunny directory has been created. Let's check its contents. As you can see, inside the Sunny we have the Dimalu directory. So guys, that's it for this quick video. Thank you very much for watching. Welcome back everyone. This is the first practical video on the grep command. In this video, we will learn what grep is and the fundamentals of grep. Grep stands for Global Regular Expression Print. Now, what does the grep do? The grep command is heavily used for searching text or text patterns in files. Let's say you have a large text file and you want to know if a particular word exists within the file or how many times it is there in the file. Then the grep command solves this problem very efficiently and easily. It makes searching through files very easy. Use cases of grep command are vast. It can be used for formatting output, searching patterns, and analyzing logs efficiently. Now let's jump into the practicals. Let me switch my directory to the desktop. Now we are gonna need a file to work with where we can perform the grep searches. So what I'm gonna do is redirect the manual page of user add command to a file. This is the documentation for user add. I'm gonna redirect or save it into a file. Press Q to exit out of the documentation. Now type man user add, type output redirection operator, specify the file name where you want to save the manual page, out.txt. Press enter ls. The file has been created. Let me quickly check its contents with -n option. Press enter. As you can see, in this file we have almost 500 lines. These are enough lines to demonstrate the grep command efficiently. Now back to the grep. So type grep. First thing that I'm gonna do is check the available options that we can use with grep. So help option is gonna display all the available options that can be used with grep. Press enter. So these are the options that we can use with the grep command. So feel free to go through all these options. Grep is actually a very advanced command. So type grep space. Now grep needs minimum 2 options. The search term, what you want to search for, and the file name where you want to search. So provide the search term or pattern. I'm going to search for the word user. Write the search term within quotes, space. Now specify the file name where you want to search, out.txt. So I am basically telling the grep command search for the word user in this specified file, out.txt. Press enter. As you can see guys, grep has printed all the lines that contain the searched term user, right? The searched term or match is being highlighted with the red color. So by default, it is gonna print all the lines that contain the searched term. Now, one thing which is missing here is the line numbers. I exactly don't know in which lines the grep has found the match. So to print the line numbers, we have to use -n option. So type grep -n, and search term is again going to be user, file name out.txt. So this time grep is going to print the lines wherever it finds the word user. If I hit enter, as you can see on the left side, it is exactly telling us the line numbers wherever it found the match. Now the search that I conducted was in this file out.txt, which is in my current working directory. Now we can also search in a file which is located in another directory. I'm going to search for the word Dimmalu in the file which is located inside etc directory passwd. So what basically is going to happen this time, grep command is going to search for the word Dimmalu in this specified location. Location is etc directory. Inside etc directory we have a file called passwd. Now passwd file essentially stores information of all the user accounts on your system. So it will check whether the user account Dimmalu exists or not. I will get back to passwd file in a dedicated video. So press enter. As you can see, it did find the word Dimmalu or user account Dimmalu in this passwd file. It means the user account Dimmalu does exist. Now what happens if the grep does not find the match, or you provide a pattern that doesn't exist? In that case, grep doesn't provide any output. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. In this video we will explore the wc command. It is a simple and useful tool. Wc stands for word count. As the name suggests, wc counts the total number of words, lines and characters in a given file. Now let's jump into the practicals. I have this file called out.txt. I want to count or check how many words, characters and lines are in this particular file. So type wc space. Now specify the file name where you want to perform counting in. Out.txt. Now press enter. As you can see, we have some interesting details. First field from the right displays the file name. Then next field displays the total characters, and this field displays the total words, and first field from the left displays the total lines. Now I only want to print the total number of words. So type wc -w, and -w only prints the total words. As you can see, the total words in the file out.txt are 2008-31. Similarly, you can print only lines wcl, and if you want to print the total letters or characters, then specify -c. -c counts how many characters are in the specified file, as you can see. Now let me demonstrate the wc with a real world example. Let's say I want to check how many user accounts are on my system. Then wc -l etc passwd. Now it will count how many lines are in the passwd file. Press enter. As you can see, there are total 59 lines, which means there are total 59 user accounts in my system. So that's it for wc command, guys. Thank you very much for watching. In this video, we are gonna learn about output redirection. Output redirection is a fundamental concept in the Linux command line that allows us to control the output of a command or program. In simple terms, it means taking the output of a command and redirecting or saving it to a file. When you execute a command in the terminal, by default, the output of that command is typically displayed in the terminal. However, with output redirection, you can save the output to a file. There are many situations where you might need to save the output of a command to a file instead of displaying it in the terminal, such as analyzing the output later, filtering or processing the output with other tools, etc. So let me practically demonstrate what I just explained. Let me execute the ls command. This is the output of ls command, right? Now, output redirection allows us to redirect or save output that a command produces to a file. This is exactly what I'm gonna do. I will take this output of ls command, then redirect or save it to a file. The syntax is very simple. Type the command whose output you want to redirect. I'm gonna go with the ls command. Now type the greater than sign. The greater than symbol is also known as the output redirection operator. Now specify the file name where you want to save the output. Out.txt. Now the way output redirection works, if the file name that you specify does not exist, then it will create the file first, then redirect output to it. And if the file already exists, then it will redirect or save the output to the existing file. Let me hit enter. And this time we did not get any output. This is because by default Linux sends output of a command to the terminal. However, this time we used the output redirection operator. So the output was sent to this out.txt file, not to the terminal. Now let me ls. As you can see, the out.txt file has been created. Now let's check its contents. Cat out.txt. As you can see, guys, inside out.txt file we have this content. This is the output of this ls command. This is exactly what we redirected to this out.txt file. This is as simple as that. Now let's do a few more examples. Let me execute a date command. This is the output of date command. Now let's redirect the output of date command to a file. Type date output redirection operator date.txt. This time output redirection operator is gonna take output of date command, then redirect it to this date.txt file. Let me hit enter. ls. The date.txt file has been created. Let's get out its contents. As you can see, guys, inside date.txt file we have the output of date command. So similarly, you can redirect output of any command to a file using the output redirection operator. Now you have to be a bit careful when redirecting output of a command to a file, because the output redirection operator overrides or removes the contents of an existing file. For example, this date.txt file already has some content, right? Now if you redirect output of another command to this date.txt file, then it will remove or overwrite the existing content and only keep the new content. Let me actually show you what I mean. This time what I'm gonna do is redirect the output of ls command to the date.txt file. Now the date.txt file already exists, right? It has already some contents inside it. Now this time the output redirection operator is going to redirect the output of this ls command to the date.txt command and only keep the new content or output of this ls command. Let me press enter. Let's check the contents of date command. As you can see, guys, the old or existing content has been removed. We only have the new content that we redirected it with the most recent command, which is ls. Now, if you want to maintain or keep the existing content of a file, then we have to use the two output redirection operators. So let me redirect output of date command. This time use two output redirection operators like this, date.txt. Now, when you use two output redirection operators, the output gets appended at the end of the file. So what it is gonna do, it will take the output of date command, then append or add it at the end of this specified file. Press enter. Let's get out contents of date.txt file. As you can see, guys, this is the existing content. It is still there, it has not been overwritten, and the output of the previous command date has been appended at the end. That's how, guys, you can use the output redirection operator and avoid content overwriting. In this video we are gonna cover pipes, also known as piping. Piping is an essential part of the Linux command line. So what exactly is piping? In simpler terms, piping is the process of sending the output of one command to another. Piping combines two or more commands by sharing data between them. This is done using the pipe character between the two commands. Now, why do we need to send output of one command to another or share data between them? Well, sometimes we have to use multiple commands or tools to complete complex tasks. So when you use different commands separately to get a single task done, it is a time-consuming process, right? So why not combine multiple commands together instead of executing them separately? This is exactly what piping solves. Piping allows us to combine or connect multiple commands by sharing data or output between them. So instead of using multiple commands separately, we can combine them using piping. When one command sends its output to another command, the receiving command processes that output as its input. This essentially means that the output of one command becomes the input for the next command or the receiving command. Now let's jump into the practicals. Here I have this out.txt file. Let me get out its contents. This is the output of this cat command, right? Now, piping allows us to pipe or send output of one command to another. This is exactly what I'm gonna do. I will send this output of cat command to the grep command. Grep command will further process this output. Let me type the complete command. So type cat out.txt. Now type the pipe character. This is the pipe character. This pipe character is typically above the enter key. Now let me type the grep command. I'm going to search for the word user and let me open another terminal. I'm going to need it for a smooth explanation. Now let me get out the contents of out.txt file. Now let me break down this entire command. Now the way it is going to work, since we are using piping, the pipe character, the Linux is going to send the output of this cat command to the grep command. This is the output of cat command, right? Linux will send this output to the grep command. Now grep command will receive this output, then search for the word user in this output or in these text lines. If it finds the word user in any of these lines, then those lines will be printed or displayed. Now, if you notice here, I have not specified any file name. The grep command needs minimum two options, the search term what you want to search. I have specified the search term, but I have not specified the file name where I want to search for this specified word user. This is because the grep is going to search for this word in this output that it receives from this command through piping. Let me press enter. As you can see guys, it has printed all the lines that contain the searched term user. So that's how the piping works. So guys, the output of one command becomes input to another command or the command that is receiving it. Remember, most Linux commands are designed to receive the output through piping. So the output of cat command became input to the grep command, and grep command searched for the word user in the output that it received. This is as simple as that. Now let's do a few more examples. Let me change my directory to home. Let me execute ls command. Now I want to check whether the directory desktop exists or not. Obviously it does exist. We all can see it. It is right there. However, if there are, let's say, hundreds of files and directories, then it becomes a bit hard to locate a specific file or directory. But with piping, we can easily solve such problems. All we have to do is send this output of ls command to the grep command, then search for the whatever file or directory you want. So let me type ls space, type the pipe character. I'm gonna search, type grep. I'm gonna search for the word desktop. So what basically is going to happen, the Linux will send output of ls command. Let me close this terminal. This is not required. I'm gonna open a new terminal. Now what basically is going to happen, the Linux will send the output of this command, which is this, to grep command. Then grep command will search for the word desktop in this output. And if it finds a match, then it will list that line. Press enter. As you can see guys, it did find the word desktop. So the directory desktop does exist. So that's how guys the piping works. You can literally take output of any command, then pipe that to another command. Copying files is a common task that you have to perform on a regular basis, right? The command for copying files and directories is cp. cp stands for copy, and it can copy both files and directories. Now let's jump into the practicals. I'm gonna start with copying files, and later we will copy directories as well. Let me execute ls. I'm gonna use these files to demonstrate the cp command. So type cp. cp stands for copy. Now cp command needs minimum two options: the file name that you want to copy and the destination directory where you want to copy it. So I'm gonna start with copying this dummy.txt file. So specify the name of the file that you want to copy, dummy.txt space. Now specify the destination directory where you want to copy it. I'm gonna copy it in my current working directory. So specify a different name, let's say dummy cp.txt. Now the copy command is going to take this dummy.txt file and create its copy under this new name dummy cp.txt. Let me press enter. ls. As you can see guys, we have successfully copied dummy.txt file. Here is the copy of dummy.txt file under this new name dummy cp.txt. Similarly, we can copy files to a specific location or different directory. What I'm gonna do is I will copy this dummy.txt file to the downloads. Let me open a new tab, change my directory to the downloads ls. As you can see, the downloads directory is currently empty. So let's copy dummy.txt to the to the downloads. Type dummy.txt. Now provide the full path to downloads or wherever you want to copy it. Type home / username, which is Dimalu for me, / downloads. Now this time the copy command will take the dummy.txt file and copy it to the specified location, which is downloads. Let me press enter. Now let me ls here. As you can see, the dummy.txt file has been copied to the downloads. So that's how, guys, you can copy files with cp command. We can also give a different name while copying. Type / let's say dummy cp.txt. This time the cp command is going to copy this file to the downloads directory under this new name, dumcp.txt. Press enter. As you can see, we have the file dumcp.txt. Now let's copy directories. ls, I have this demo directory. I'm gonna create a copy of this demo directory. Type cp space demo. Now specify the name of the directory, demo12. So copy command is going to take this demo directory and create its copy under this new name, dem12. Let me press enter. As you can see, we have an error, -r not specified. If you want to copy directories, we need to specify -r parameter. By default, copy command expects us to copy files. So if you want to copy directories, then we need to use the -r parameter. So type -r. This time the copy command is going to take this directory, then creates its copy under this new name, dem12, in my current working directory. Let me hit enter. ls, as you can see, guys, we have successfully created copy of demo directory under this new name. Now let's copy demo directory to another directory. I'm gonna copy it to the downloads. cp-r demo. Now provide the path where you want to copy it. Home, type the username, downloads. This time copy command is going to take this demo directory and copy it to the specified destination, which is downloads. Let me hit enter. Let me ls here. As you can see, guys, the demo directory has been created, right? Now let's copy multiple files or directories with a single cp command. What I'm gonna do is I will copy dem12 and app.c file to the downloads directory. So type cp ap.c space. Now provide name of the file or directory that you want to copy. Let's say dem12. Now provide the destination, path, home, Dimalu, sorry. Now since we are copying a directory along with the file, we need to provide -r parameter. Now the way this command is gonna work, copy command will copy these two specified file and directory to the downloads directory. You can copy any number of files or directories, just separate them with a space like this. Now press enter. Let me go to the downloads, ls. As you can see, guys, here we have app.c file and dem12 directory. That's how you can copy multiple files and directories with cp command. Just separate the files with a space. In this video, we will learn how to delete files and directories using the rm command. The rm command is short for remove. It is used to delete or remove files and directories. It is a straightforward command with a simple syntax. Now let's jump into the practicals. I'm gonna demonstrate the rm command using these dummy files and directories. So type rm. Rm stands for remove. space. Now we need to tell the rm command the file name that you want to remove. We are going to start with removing files. Later we will remove directories as well. So rm space, now specify the file name that you want to remove. I'm going to remove this dummy.txt file which is in my current working directory. So type dummy.txt. So rm command is going to remove this specified file dummy.txt. Press enter. ls, as you can see guys, the file has been removed. Similarly, we can remove multiple files with a single rm command. Type rm space, specify the file names. Let's say app.c space. We need to separate files with a space. appcp.txt, and this time rm command is gonna remove these two specified files. Press enter. ls, as you can see guys, both the specified files have been removed, and this way you can remove as many files as you like. Just separate those files with a space. Now let's remove files that are stored in a different directory. I'm gonna remove files in my downloads directory. Let me change my directory to the downloads. Here I have all these dummy files. So let me go back to my current working directory, which is desktop. So type rm space. Now we need to provide the full path to the file or directory that you want to remove. So home, type the username. Now downloads. Now inside downloads I have this file called dummy.txt. So after the destination directory / then type the name of the file that you want to remove, dummy.txt. So rm command is going to remove this dummy.txt file which is stored in the downloads directory. Press enter. Let me go back to downloads. ls, as you can see guys, the file dummy.txt has been removed. Now let's remove directories. ls, I'm gonna start with removing demo directory. So rm demo. Press enter. As you can see, it is a directory. Just like the cp command, we need to specify -r parameter when removing directories. So type rm-r, provide the name of the directory that you want to remove. Press enter. ls, as you can see guys, the directory demo has been removed. Similarly, we can remove directories that are stored in a different location or directory. The syntax is same. Type rm-r, provide the path to the directory that you want to remove. Downloads. In downloads I have directory called demo. So let me type the name of the directory. This time rm command is going to remove the demo directory which is inside the downloads directory. Hit enter. Let me ls, as you can see guys, the demo directory has been removed. Now let's discuss some of the options that can be used with the rm command. Now one of the most commonly used options with rm command is -f. -f stands for force. It basically forcefully removes the files and directories. Now what happens is that there are certain files that you can't remove with the simple rm command. We need to provide -f to remove specific files or directories. Now files that are write protected can't be removed with simple rm command. Now write protected files are those that can't be modified or edited. Let me create one such file. I'm gonna make this demo.txt file as write only. So type chmod You don't have to worry about the chmod command. We will get back to it in a dedicated section. For now, I just want to create a write protected file just to demonstrate rm command. Chmod user, I'm gonna take away write permission on demo.txt file, press enter. Now as you can see guys, in the desktop we have this lock sign. It means that this is a write protected file and it can't be modified or edited. Let me ls. Now let me try to remove it with default rm command demo.txt. Press enter. As you can see guys, we have this prompt: remove write protected regular empty file demo.txt. Now here we have to specify n for no. If you don't want to remove, then type n, and if you want to remove, then type yes, or y stands for yes. Now I don't want to remove this demo.txt file yet, so I'm gonna specify n, press enter. Now if you want to bypass this prompt, then we have to use -f parameter. So type rm-f, specify the file name, and press enter. As you can see guys, this time the rm command did not display this prompt: remove write protected regular file. It directly removed the file. So -f parameter essentially bypasses this prompt and forcefully removes the files or directories. And if you have, let's say, a write protected directory, then you have to specify -r parameter like this, -rf, then specify the write protected directory. Let's say we have a write protected directory demo, then this command is gonna remove this write protected directory and bypass the prompt that rm command typically displays when removing write protected files or directories. So that's it for rm command guys. Thank you very much for watching. Welcome back everyone. In this section we will discuss two important aspects of Linux: user management and performing administrative tasks. This is one of the most important sections in this course. Before we dive into root user, sudo command, and other advanced topics in upcoming videos, it is essential to understand user types. Linux users have different levels of access and permissions based on their type. Therefore, understanding users and their types is important. In this video, we will explore the different types of users in Linux. So what is a computer user first? A computer user is essentially someone who interacts with a computer system and uses its resources to perform tasks. These tasks include accessing files, running programs, and utilizing all the other features the system offers. In short, anyone who uses a computer for various activities is considered a computer user. Now, Linux is a multi-user operating system. Now, what does multi-user mean? A multi-user operating system allows multiple users to access and use a system simultaneously. This means several user accounts can be logged in at the same time. In a multi-user environment, we can create separate or multiple user accounts. Each user has their own account with a unique username and password. This allows users to log in with their login credentials and access their own files and resources without interfering with each other. Remember, each user in a multi-user operating system has their own files. By default, one user can't access files of other users on the system. Linux automatically manages the resources and security of each user account. Linux, macOS, and Windows are all multi-user operating systems. You can create multiple user accounts in each of these systems. In the upcoming videos, you will learn how to create and manage multiple user accounts on Linux practically. Now, there are three types of users in Linux, not only in Linux but in Windows as well. There are three main types of users: regular users, root user, and system users. Let's start with regular users. Regular users in Linux are also known as normal users, standard users, or non-admin users. Regular users have limited system access. They can perform basic standard tasks such as browsing the internet, storing and accessing their data, playing media, and creating files, etc. However, a regular user can't perform any administrative tasks such as installing, uninstalling applications, modifying system settings, accessing or deleting configuration files, and managing system directories and tools. In short, regular users don't have ability or permission to utilize and access files and tools that are specifically designed for performing administrative tasks. Now let's address the real question: why regular user accounts exist? What problems do they solve? As we discussed earlier, regular user accounts have limited privileges or access to a system. This allows users to utilize and access the system without being able to modify system files or other protected administrative files and tools. This limited access helps maintain system security. Organizations, schools, and universities commonly use regular user accounts for this very reason. Let's take an organization as an example. Organizations and corporations often have multiple employees who typically use the same computer system, right? To ensure security and privacy, each user is assigned a unique username and password. Users log in using their credentials. Each user's files are stored separately, and one user can't access the files of another user without proper authorization. Regular user accounts, as we have discussed, have limited privileges. This means they can't damage or access system files, nor can they perform administrative tasks. By using regular user accounts, users can benefit from all the essential functionality the system offers without risking accidental or intentional harm to the system through administrative access. They can create their own files, perform office work, but can't access administrative tools. This restriction on accessing only their own files inherently makes regular user accounts more secure. Windows is also a multi-user operating system. You may be familiar with guest accounts. The guest account in Windows is also a regular user account with limited system access. The second type of user is the root user, also known as administrative user. Root will be covered in the next video because it deserves a dedicated video. Now let's discuss system users. System users in Linux as well as in Windows. A system user refers to a user account created for computer system or an application to execute specific tasks or functions. System users are created during the installation of operating system and applications. Some applications use a dedicated system user account to carry out their operations. System users typically run in the background. They are not directly relevant to your day-to-day tasks. We don't interact with them directly, but they are used by specific applications to carry out their operations in the background. These tasks include running daemons or services in the background. Specific applications such as antivirus software also use dedicated system account to scan the system. System users don't have a login shell, meaning they can't log into the system directly. In this video, we will learn about the root user. Root is the most important user on a Linux system. In the previous video, we discussed that regular users can't perform administrative tasks. However, someone eventually needs to perform administrative tasks, right? And that is where the root user comes in. The root is a special user account on Linux. It is essentially the admin or administrative user account on the Linux system. All administrative tasks are performed by the root user account. The root user is also known as the super user. The root user has complete control over the system. It can perform any operation on a system, such as installing or uninstalling applications, accessing, deleting, and modifying any system and configuration files. In short, the root user controls and accesses everything. The root user account is created automatically during the installation of Linux. Each Linux system has the root user by default. In the upcoming video, we will be putting theory into practice. Finally, we will put everything we have learned in the last two videos into practice. In this video, we will learn about the sudo command and how to use it to perform administrative tasks. We will also cover how sudo is related to the root user as well as who is allowed to use the sudo command. This video is going to be very important and probably one of the longest videos in the entire course. So make sure to watch the complete video and don't skip anything. Let's dive into the practicals. In the previous two videos, we learned that a regular user can't perform administrative tasks, right? Now let's actually verify if it is true or not. Now, how can you tell whether you are logged in as a regular user or the root user? Well, a regular user is denoted by the $sign. As you can see, it means that the currently logged in user Dimalu is a regular user, and the root user is denoted or represented by the pound symbol. We will get back to it later. Now what I'm gonna do is I will try to install an application which is an administrative task. So type apt install vlc. Don't worry about the apt command. We will get back to it in a dedicated section. Apt is basically used for installing or uninstalling applications. Now let me press enter and see what happens. As you can see, guys, we have two errors. The first error says permission denied. It means that the currently logged in user Dimalu does not have permission to execute this command. And second error says that are you root? It means that you need to be the root user to execute this command. Only root user is allowed to execute this command. Now there are two primary ways to perform administrative tasks on a Linux system. Either you need to log in as the root user or you can use the sudo command to perform administrative tasks. Now logging in as root user is not recommended, especially for beginners, because it can be very dangerous. The major problem with logging in as the root user is that the root user executes commands without alerting you or giving any warnings. No matter how dangerous the command is, you are not warned before making system changes or executing commands. This means that you will not have any opportunity to review the changes before they are implemented, which can lead to serious problems. For example, you could accidentally delete essential system files, rendering your system unusable or unstable. For these reasons, it is considered dangerous to log in as root or operate your system as root. Even experienced users avoid logging in as root unless it is absolutely necessary. So what is the safe way to perform administrative tasks? To safely perform administrative tasks, we can use the sudo command. Sudo command allows regular users to run commands with the same power or privileges as the root user. This means you don't need to log in as the root user to perform administrative tasks. You can simply use the sudo command. The term sudo stands for superuser do, where su stands for superuser and do stands for perform or execute. Remember, the root user is also known as the superuser. Now let's see how we can use the sudo command to perform administrative tasks. The syntax is simple. Just type the sudo command before the command that you want to execute. Now I'm gonna execute the same apt install vlc command. Apt install vlc, press enter, type your password, press enter. As you can see guys, now the command is working. Apt is asking me whether I want to continue the installation or not. Type Y. Y is for yes, N is for no. I'm gonna type Y to proceed with installation. Press enter. Now apt is going to download the required files for VLC, then install it automatically. The installation is complete. Now let me verify the installation. Type VLC, press enter. As you can see guys, VLC is up and running. So guys, that's how you can basically use the sudo command to perform administrative tasks. Just type the sudo command before the actual command that you want to execute. Now let me execute another command that needs sudo privileges. There is a command called fdisk which is used for managing partitions. Press enter. As you can see, permission denied. Now I'm gonna type sudo then fdisk -l, press enter. As you can see guys, now the command has been executed successfully. So guys, if you encounter errors like this, permission denied, then just write the sudo command before the actual command, then the command will be executed. This is as easy as that. And there is another tool called airmon ng. If I press enter, as you can see, run it as root. It means it also needs the sudo privileges. If I type sudo, press enter, now as you can see, this command has been executed successfully. So guys, whenever you want to perform administrative tasks or encounter errors like run it as root or permission denied, then just write the sudo command before the actual command, then everything will be fine. Now let's address a very important question. Who can access or use the sudo command? Remember, not every regular user can use the sudo command. Only users who have been granted sudo privileges or permission to use the sudo command can use or access it. By default, only one regular user account has permission to use the sudo command. The user account that you create or set up during installation is allowed to use the sudo command. When you install Ubuntu, Kali Linux or any Linux based operating system, you have to set up a user account and password for that account during the installation, right? The user account that you set up during installation is automatically given permission to use the sudo command. Only that particular user can use the sudo command. Any user accounts that you create after the installation can't access the sudo command. They have limited access to the system and can't perform administrative tasks or use the sudo command. Now, how do you know whether a user account can access or have permission to use the sudo command? It is simple. We need to use the id command to verify that. Now type id space, now specify the username that you want to check sudo permissions for. I'm gonna check whether the Dimalu user has permission to use sudo or not. Type username, press enter. Here we have a lot of information. We will dissect this information in a dedicated section. For now, here you only need to see if the sudo is mentioned here or not. Here we have groups. So groups equal to, and here it is, sudo. As you can see guys, sudo is here. It means the user Dimalu is part of the sudo group. So the Dimalu user has permission to access the sudo command. Now I have another user account on my system, which is guest, and let me press enter to see if it has access to the sudo command or not. Press enter. As you can see guys, this is a regular user account that I created after installing the Kali Linux, and here we don't have sudo mentioned anywhere. It means that the guest user does not have access to the sudo. It can't use or access the sudo command. Again guys, I'm wrapping up this video with the note that only the user account that you create or set up during the installation has the access to the sudo command. User accounts that you add after installation don't have permission to use the sudo command. In this video, we are going to look at the ipadder command. This is a very important command for administrators and you will be using it a lot. So what is it? The ipadder command is used to display information about the network interfaces such as Ethernet or wireless network adapter on your computer. It provides network details like IP address assigned to each interface, network masks, MAC address and other network related details. By using this command, you can easily check and manage your network settings. Now let's jump into the practicals. Type IP space adder space show. Now the IP adder command with show parameter displays all the installed network interfaces on your system. So press enter. As you can see guys, these are the installed network interfaces along with their configurations. The first interface that we have is the LO. LO stands for loop back. It is up and running. The loop back is also known as the localhost. This is the address for the loop back. Now, loop back is not a physical network interface, right? It is a virtual interface. You can't use the loop back for connecting to a network. The loop back points to your own system. It can't communicate with external networks. The loop back is not that important for now. I will get back to loop back when we will set up the Apache web server. Now the most important part for us is this ETH0. The Ethernet network interface is represented by the ETH0 in Kali Linux. I'm connected to my network using Ethernet. So under the Ethernet, I have all the network configuration details. As you can see, this is the IPv4 address. INET essentially means IP address. BRT is short for broadcast address. This is the broadcast address. And here we have the MAC address. The MAC address is known by different names such as Ether, Link or hardware address. So this is the MAC address, and down here we have the IPv6 address as well. Now here we don't have the details for wireless card or wireless interface, right? This is because a virtual machine can't access the built-in wireless card because it is already being used by your main operating system or your host operating system. But if you connect an external wireless card, then that will be listed here. A wireless card is represented by WLAN 0. So if or when you connect an external card, then IP adder command will display that card as well under the name WLAN 0. You will see something like WLAN 0 in this list of interfaces. Now, the show parameter is not mandatory if you only want to list the installed network interfaces. So just type IP adder, IP space adder, then it will print all the network interfaces along with their configuration details. And instead of using adder, we can use its shorthand, which is A. So IP space A, press enter. As you can see, it is producing the same result as the last command, which was this. So IPA, A is the shorthand for adder. In this video, we will finally learn how to install packages or applications from the terminal. It is actually easy. Type sudo. Now, before actually installing a new application, we should always run the apt update command. It will update your local repositories, which will help the package manager to download the latest possible version of the application that you are downloading, as we discussed in the previous video. So let me quickly run the update command. So type apt update. It will update your local database. Press enter. Let the update command finish. Now the update command is complete. We are good to go. Now we can proceed with installation. So type sudo apt. The apt, as we discussed in the previous video, allows us to install, remove and update packages. So after apt, type install. Install parameter allows us to specify name of the package or application that you want to install. I'm gonna install, let's say, VLC. So type the name of the package that you want to install. So this command is going to install the specified package VLC. Remember guys, apt will only be able to install the specified package if it is available in the repositories. Now press enter, provide your password. Let me scroll up a little, and here these are the dependencies that apt is going to install, because VLC needs all these dependencies to function properly. Now scroll to the bottom. Here we have this prompt, continue. If you want to continue or proceed with installation, then we need to type Y. Y is for yes, N is for no. I'm gonna proceed with installation. So type Y, press enter, and it will take a few seconds or probably a minute to complete the downloading and installation. Alright, the installation is complete. Now let's verify whether the VLC has been installed or not. Type VLC, press enter. As you can see guys, VLC is up and running. So installation was successful. Similarly, you can install any other package or application that you want. Let me install another application. Type sudo. The steps remain same. Type apt install. After install, specify name of the package that you want to install. I'm going to install htop. Htop is basically a system monitoring tool. Press enter, and the installation is almost complete. As you can see, installation is complete. Now type htop to verify its installation. Press enter. As you can see guys, this is the htop. We are inside htop, and at the bottom it is displaying all the running processes on my system, and in the top half it is displaying the system resources being consumed, like RAM, processor, etc. Now press Q to exit out of the htop. So guys, that's how you can basically install the applications. The syntax for installing every application is same. After install, parameter specify name of the package or application that you want to install, and if the specified package is available in the repositories, then the package will be installed. Thank you very much, guys. In this video, we are gonna learn how to remove or uninstall packages from terminal. So type sudo space. The tool for removing packages is apt, the same tool that we used for installing applications. After apt, type remove. Now specify a name of the package or application that you want to remove. I'm gonna remove VLC. So apt is going to remove the specified package VLC. Press enter, provide your password, and here, as you can see, removing the package name VLC. Type N if you don't want to continue uninstallation, and if you want to proceed with uninstallation, type Y, press enter, and it will uninstall the package. As you can see, it has been uninstalled. Now guys, after executing the remove command, we need to execute the auto remove command. Let me type apt auto remove. Now what happens is that the remove command only removes the main executable file. It does not remove the dependencies that were installed with a package. It basically removes the dependencies that are no longer required. So press enter, and if I scroll up, as you can see guys, it is gonna remove all these dependencies that were installed with VLC. Now type Y to proceed with uninstallation. It will complete the uninstallation. Now as you can see, command has been executed successfully. Now let's verify whether VLC is still there or not. So type VLC. As you can see guys, VLC is no longer showing up. It has been removed successfully. Similarly, you can remove any application or installed package that you want. Just specify name of the installed package after the remove, then it will remove that package. So thank you very much guys, that's it for this video. In this section, we are gonna learn how to use Nmap. Nmap is an extremely important tool in cybersecurity. Whether you are a network engineer, cybersecurity analyst, or an ethical hacker, Nmap is useful for everyone in general. It is a tool that should be part of your cybersecurity skill set. Now, what is Nmap? Nmap is an advanced information gathering tool that hackers and pen testers use to obtain information about the systems they intend to hack or test. Now what happens is that before actually hacking a system, attackers need to collect information about their target system. Hackers search for openings or possible access points for infiltration. Nmap provides this information quite easily and masterfully. Nmap is a port scanning tool. It scans for open ports, vulnerabilities, and various services running on a system. This is the first practical video on Nmap. In this video, we will learn the fundamentals of Nmap scanning and analyze all three states of a port. Now let's jump into the practicals. So open your terminal and type Nmap. The first thing that I always like to do when learning a new tool is check the options that it offers. So type Nmap 2 help. The help parameter displays all the options that can be used with Nmap. So press enter. As you can see, these are the options or available options that can be used with Nmap. Let me tell you guys, Nmap is a very advanced tool. Therefore, it offers all these options. So feel free to go through this documentation. Now type Nmap space. Now before scanning the target network, you should always check whether it is up and running or not, because if it is not running, then it is pointless to scan. So type -S uppercase P. S stands for scan, P stands for ping. In the background, Nmap conducts the ping scan to check whether the specified host is up and running or not. Now specify the name of the host. You can either specify an IP address or a domain name. I'm gonna specify the domain name scanme.nmap.org. Remember guys, you can't randomly scan any website on internet with Nmap. It is illegal. Fortunately, Nmap provides this specific server or subdomain that we can use for learning Nmap or practicing Nmap. Or if you have your own server or domain, then you can specify that as well. Now the way this command is gonna work, Nmap will conduct the ping scan in the background to check whether the provided host is running or not. Press enter. As you can see, one host up, it means the specified host is up and running. Now we can proceed further with the scanning. Type nmap, type the name of your target network, scanme.nmap.org. Now this is the default Nmap scan without any options. By default, Nmap scans the most popular 1000 ports. If you don't provide any options like this, then Nmap will scan the most popular 1000 ports. So press enter. It is gonna take some time to complete the scan because Nmap has to go through all the 1000 popular port numbers and determine their state, whether they are open or filtered. As you can see guys, the scan is complete. Now let's analyze the result. The first nice thing that the Nmap does is it prints the IP address. As you can see in the brackets, we have this IPv4 address. This is the IPv4 address of this specified host. Now instead of using this domain name, we can directly use this IPv4 address. So what I'm gonna do is copy this IPv4 address, and here is the IPv6 address for this domain name. Now let's analyze the actual result, which is this. So here we have 987 port numbers closed and remaining 13 are either open or filtered. We have 3 columns here. Port column displays the port number, state column displays the state of a port. There are 2 possible states of a port. Either it can be open or filtered. We'll get back to it in a minute. Then we have service column. It displays the service running on a port. For example, the port number 22, it is open and the service running on port number 22 is SSH. The default port for SSH is 22. Now what does the open port mean? It means that this port is accepting connections or ready to accept connections. The SSH essentially allows us to access servers or computers remotely from anywhere. So if the SSH port is open, it means you can access a server or computer remotely from anywhere. You just need to provide the correct login credentials. Now what does the open port mean from a hacker's perspective? Well, if the legitimate users can access or log in the SSH, so can hackers. Hackers can basically hack the SSH service by brute forcing its login credentials. Or if the SSH version is vulnerable, then they can exploit that particular vulnerability. So an open port can be vulnerable if it is not properly protected. Then we have port number 25, which is filtered. Now what does the filtered port number mean? It means it is probably protected by a firewall. Only the authorized person can access the port number 25, or you can say only the authorized users can connect to port number 25. We have a plenty of open ports such as FTP. FTP is similar to SSH. The only difference is that SSH is secure. Communication on SSH is encrypted, whereas on FTP the communication is carried out in plain text. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have any questions, then let me know. Hello and welcome to this course where you will learn wireless security from scratch. This course is suitable for absolute beginners who want to learn about Wi-Fi attacks and defense, how attackers hack a Wi-Fi network, and how to detect and protect against Wi-Fi attacks. To learn defensive strategy, first we need to understand how a Wi-Fi network is compromised. Then we will be able to develop a good defensive strategy. By the end of this course, you will be able to secure your Wi-Fi network from all potential threats. This is a detailed course where everything will be covered from scratch. You will be taught how things work behind the scenes or attacks, not just commands. Now, you need an external wireless card for Wi-Fi penetration testing. These are the recommended cards suitable for Wi-Fi pen testing that you can consider purchasing. They are all compatible and supported by Kali Linux. We are going to use Kali Linux for Wi-Fi penetration testing. Kali Linux has all the tools pre-installed that we need for Wi-Fi penetration testing and security. In this video, we will learn how to connect your wireless network card to Kali Linux and address the common errors that may arise initially. Now let's dive into the practicals. Before you plug in or connect your wireless card, we need to upgrade the system. So type sudo apt. First we need to update the repositories. Now provide your password. Let the update command finish. Now once the update command completes, then we need to execute upgrade command. So type sudo upgrade, press enter. Now type y, press enter. Let the upgrade command finish. It is very important. Now once the upgrade command finishes, now we are good to go. Now plug in or connect your wireless network adapter to your USB port. To use your wireless card in your Kali Linux virtual machine, go to the devices, click on USB, and your wireless network card's name should appear in this list. I have an Alpha network card that uses an Ethereum chipset. As you can see, it is listed here. So click on your network card or appropriate network card. I'm going to click on Ethereum. Now once selected, Kali Linux is going to take around 15 to 20 seconds to set up everything when you use your wireless network card for the first time in Kali Linux. Now wait for 15 to 20 seconds. Now to verify whether your card is detected by Kali Linux or not, type IP space A, press enter. As you can see, guys, WLAN 0, my wireless card has been detected. W stands for wireless, LAN stands for local area network, and the number 0 represents the card number. Each wireless card has a unique number assigned to it. The first wireless card that you connect is assigned number 0. If you connect another card, that card will be assigned number 1. In case if your card is not appearing or Kali Linux has not detected it, then disconnect your card, then reconnect again and repeat the same steps. Go to the devices, USB, click on Ethereum or whatever chipset your card is using. Now let me verify again. As you can see, WLAN 0, it has been detected. Once detected, now you can use your wireless card to connect to a Wi-Fi network. Click on the networks icon, click on available networks. Now select the Wi-Fi network that you want to connect to. As you can see, now sometimes you might encounter errors like this: can't attach USB device. failed to attach the USB device. In case if you do encounter such an error, then solution is simple. Disconnect your wireless card, then reconnect again. Now go to the devices, USB. As you can see, my network card is already selected. If it is already selected, then you don't need to do anything. Just wait for a few seconds and type IP-IPA to verify it, as you can see. And if it is not selected, then select your chipset. Then it should automatically solve the problem. In case you have a different network card and Kali Linux is not detecting it, post your questions in the Q&A section. I will definitely answer your queries there. If you have a network card that I recommended, Kali Linux will detect them automatically. You don't need to install drivers for them if you use Alpha series cards. Now once the wireless card is detected, now we are good to go. Now let's talk about the tools that we are gonna use for wireless penetration testing. The tool that we are gonna use is AirCrackNG. Now AirCrackNG is not a single tool, rather it is a complete suite. It is collection of many tools. AirCrackNG is the best tool out there for testing wireless security. Each tool within AirCrackNG is designed for specific tasks. For example, AirCrack Suite has a tool called AeroDumpNG. AeroDumpNG is used for capturing packets, and then we have AirmonNG, which is used for controlling the monitor mode. The AirCrackNG itself is used for cracking passwords. There are many more tools in the AirCrack suite that we will explore as we progress through the course. Now we need to verify whether AirCrackNG is detecting the wireless card or not. So type sudo airmonng, press enter, provide your password. As you can see, airmonng has also detected the wireless card. It means this card is compatible with airmonng. Now we are good to go. Remember guys, you will need to repeat the same steps each time you want to use your wireless adapter in your Kali Linux virtual machine, right? After plugging in the card, you need to go to the devices, USB, then select your wireless card. In this video, we will discuss managed and monitor modes. A wireless network card can operate in two modes, managed and monitor mode. In managed mode, also known as normal mode, the wireless network adapter is used for standard tasks such as connecting to Wi-Fi networks, accessing the internet, and utilizing other network resources. Monitor mode, on the other hand, is entirely different. It allows us to intercept or capture all network traffic being transmitted over a specific Wi-Fi network or all surrounding wireless networks within its range. Wireless cards operate in managed mode by default, allowing you to connect to Wi-Fi networks. However, to capture or monitor network traffic, we need to switch or change the network card to monitor mode. In monitor mode, a wireless network adapter can capture wireless network traffic within its range. Now let's discuss the real question: why do we need to capture wireless network traffic? Well, to hack a Wi-Fi network, certain information is required. This information can be obtained by capturing packets, and monitor mode allows you to capture those required packets. Specifically, we need the four-way handshake, which can be intercepted using monitor mode. However, it is important to note that this mode is often used for legitimate purposes by network administrators, security professionals, and researchers. They use it to monitor and analyze wireless network traffic for troubleshooting, security testing, and research purposes. In the next video, we will enable the monitor mode. In this video, we will finally learn how to enable and disable monitor mode as well as how to restart the network manager. Now let's jump into the practicals. First, connect or plug in your wireless network card. I have already plugged in mine. Let me verify that. Type IP space A, press enter. As you can see here it is WLAN 0. I'm gonna put a WLAN 0 into the monitor mode. So type sudo airmon ng. Airmon ng is part of the aircrack suite. It is used for controlling the monitor mode, including enabling and disabling it. Now, before enabling the monitor mode, we need to check for processes that might cause problems later. There are certain processes that might put your card back to the managed mode from monitor mode. So let's check those processes. Pass check parameter. It will list those processes. Press enter. As you can see, found two processes that could cause problems. Now we need to terminate these processes. It is easy. After check, type kill. Kill parameter is going to kill or terminate those processes. Press enter. As you can see, this process has been terminated. Now we are good to go. Type sudo airmon ng space, type start space. Now specify the name of your wireless card that you want to put into the monitor mode. For me it is WLAN 0. Now airmon ng is going to start the monitor mode on this specified wireless card WLAN 0. Press enter. As you can see, monitor mode enabled for WLAN 0 on WLAN 0 mon. It means that the specified wireless card WLAN 0 has been put into the monitor mode under the new name WLAN 0 mon. And if you want to use or access the monitor mode, then we have to use this name WLAN 0 mon or whatever name it is after this particular part. Now let's actually verify whether the card is in monitor mode or not. Type IP space A. At the bottom, as you can see, WLAN 0 mon. The card is indeed in the monitor mode. We can also use iwconfig command to verify the monitor mode. Press enter. As you can see, mode monitor. Now once your card is in monitor mode, you can't use it for general purpose like connecting to the Wi-Fi networks. In monitor mode, we can capture traffic and monitor all the Wi-Fi networks within your network card's range. We will do that in the next video. Now let's learn how to put your card back to the managed mode. At some point you will need to put your card back to the managed mode, right? Once you are done with Wi-Fi pen testing. So type sudo airmon ng stop. Now type name of your monitor mode, which is WLAN 0 mon for me. Now airmon ng is going to stop the monitor mode WLAN 0 mon. Press enter. As you can see guys, monitor mode disabled for WLAN 0 mon. Now let me list network interfaces. IP space A. As you can see guys, the card is back to the managed mode. Let me actually type iwconfig. Press enter. As you can see, mode managed. Now after putting your card back to the managed mode, you should always restart your network manager. So type sudo systemctl space restart. Type network manager. Make sure that N is in uppercase and M also must be in uppercase. Now what this command is going to do, it will reset your network configurations, fix common problems, and your card will become ready to be used in managed mode. Press enter. Now command has been executed successfully. Now click on your network icon. As you can see guys, Now my wireless card is up and running. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. In this video, we will learn how to detect or discover Wi-Fi networks within your network adapters range, explore the fundamentals of AeroDump ng-scan, and save the network traffic to a file. This is definitely going to be an exciting and informative video. So let's dive into the practicals. The first thing that you are gonna do is put your wireless network adapter into the monitor mode. I have already enabled monitor mode. Let me verify that. Type IP space A, press enter. As you can see, WLAN 0 mon. My card is already in the monitor mode. We need the monitor mode for capturing wireless network traffic and discovering Wi-Fi networks. Once your card is in monitor mode, we are good to go. Now type sudo AeroDump ng. AeroDump ng is also part of the Aircrack suite. AeroDump ng is a powerful tool used for capturing wireless network traffic. It also discovers and displays information about the nearby Wi-Fi networks. Now after AeroDump ng, specify name of your monitor mode, which is WLAN 0 mon for me. Now this particular AeroDump command is going to discover and display information about all the available Wi-Fi networks within the range of your wireless card. Let me press enter. As you can see, guys, the AeroDump is scanning for the nearby Wi-Fi networks. It scans and lists all the nearby Wi-Fi networks within the range of your wireless card. Now we have a lot of information here, right? I will break down everything. We have two sections here. In the first half, it displays all the Wi-Fi networks that it has detected along with their information. In the bottom half, it displays the devices that are connected to these Wi-Fi networks. Now, first thing that we have to understand is what all these columns mean, what information they represent. Now, the first field is BSSID. BSSID refers to the MAC address. Each wireless access point or wireless router has a MAC address. For example, the MAC address for the network Cyborg is this. Then we have PVR. PVR indicates the signal strength. It basically tells us how close we are to a Wi-Fi network. If the PVR value is around 70 or above 70, then it means the signal strength is weak. If it is below 60, then the signal strength is considered average, and if this value is below 40, then it means the signal strength is strong. You are close to a Wi-Fi network, or you have a very powerful wireless card. Then we have beacons column. It displays the total beacon packets that a Wi-Fi network has transmitted. A Wi-Fi network uses beacon packets to announce its presence. On average, a Wi-Fi network sends around 10 beacon packets per second. In simple terms, through beacon packets, a Wi-Fi network basically tells the nearby wireless devices, I am available, you can connect to me if you have the proper authority. Then we have data column. It displays the number of packets captured by the network card on each listed network here. Remember guys, AeroDump ng is capturing or listening to the network traffic of each network that it has detected or listed here. Later in the video, I will demonstrate how to save the captured packets. Data field helps us to understand the amount of data traffic on the network. And next is /s. It stands for seconds. It shows the average number of data packets a network has transmitted each second, calculated over the last 10 seconds. And then we have CH. CH stands for channel number. It displays the channel number on which the wireless access point or wireless network is operating. Then we have MB. MB displays the maximum speed supported by a Wi-Fi network. And next is ENC. ENC is short for encryption. It indicates the type of encryption protocol the network uses for encrypting packets. 95% of networks still use WPA2, although WPA3 is available, which is updated version of WPA2. It is considered more secure. However, WPA2 remains the most widely used encryption protocol, with over 95% of networks still using it. WPA2 makes sure that data sent or received over a wireless network is encrypted. And next is cipher. Cipher refers to the specific algorithm used for encrypting and decrypting data within the encryption process. CCMP is specifically used with WPA2. It offers significantly more security compared to older protocols like WEP and TKIP used in WPA. And next is auth. AUTH. Auth refers to the authentication method used to protect against unauthorized access to the network. It specifies how devices are authenticated before being allowed to connect to the network. PSK stands for pre-shared key, indicating that the Wi-Fi network utilizes a shared password. All users are required to use the common network password to connect to the network. To access the PSK Wi-Fi network, you will need to enter the correct Wi-Fi password. And the last column is ESSID. It basically displays the name of Wi-Fi networks. Here we have two Wi-Fi networks, Cyborg and Sunny. And in the bottom half, AeroDump displays devices that are connected to these Wi-Fi networks. First column, BSSID, it displays MAC address of the wireless access point or wireless router, and station column displays MAC address of the device which is connected to a network. For example, this MAC address or wireless device is connected to this Wi-Fi network. And if a device is not connected to any Wi-Fi network, then you will see something like not associated. Not associated means the wireless device has not connected to any Wi-Fi network. It is still searching for Wi-Fi networks to connect. Now, like I discussed earlier, we can save the packets that AeroDump is listening or capturing. Now here, the AeroDump is basically listening to the traffic of all these detected devices. We can save the traffic that it is capturing to a file. So press Ctrl plus C to exit out of AeroDump. Okay, so type AeroDump ng wlan 0 mon, then type write. Write parameter allows us to specify the file name where you want to save the captured packets. Now you can specify a specific directory where you want to save. If you don't specify any specific directory, then it will save the files in your current working directory. Now provide a file name, let's say captured packets. Now AeroDump is going to monitor the network traffic of all the Wi-Fi networks within its range and then save the traffic into this specified file captured packets. The files will be saved in your current working directory. Let me press enter. Now let me exit out of AeroDump by pressing Ctrl plus C. Now type ls. As you can see, AeroDump has created these different files. AeroDump basically saves captured packets in different files. We have files with .cap extension, .csv, .net xml, etc. However, only relevant file for us is this .cap. We can open the .cap files in Wireshark. Let's actually do that. Type Wireshark space and then specify the file name that you want to open. Now what Wireshark is gonna do, it will open this specified file. Let me press enter. As you can see guys, inside this file we have the packets that the AeroDump captured. So guys, that's how you can save the captured packets to a file. So that's it for this video guys. Thank you very much for watching. In this video, we will learn how to scan Wi-Fi networks operating on the 5 GHz frequency band. This is a theoretical video. Practical aspects will be demonstrated in the next video. There are certain things about 5 GHz networks that we need to understand before diving into the practical aspects. By default, AeroDump NG only scans and lists networks in the 2.4 GHz band, as we saw in the previous video. Now, what if a network is using only the 5 GHz band? Most networks use dual bands, but some specifically use only 5 GHz frequency band. To scan the 5 GHz networks, we have to use the band option in AeroDump NG. Remember, this is important to scan or discover 5 GHz networks. Your network card must also support the 5 GHz band. That's the prerequisite. Now we need to use the band parameter with AeroDump to scan for 5 GHz networks. The band option allows you to specify different bands or a combination of bands that you want to scan. AeroDump supports two bands, 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz. We can also combine both, which enables us to scan for both 2.4 and 5 GHz networks. Now to scan and list 5 GHz networks, we need to use band A parameter with AeroDump. The letter A represents the 5 GHz band. We will demonstrate this practically in the next video. There are other options for the band parameter as well. B represents 2.4 GHz band using the old 802.11b standard, and G represents the 2.4 GHz band using the 802.11g standard, which is more common. G is also the default mode. If you don't specify any bands, by default AeroDump runs with the G option, and if you want to scan for both bands, you can use band AG option. Remember, specifying multiple bands can increase workload on your system and potentially slow down scanning. We will continue where we left off in the previous video. In this video, I will demonstrate how to scan for 5 GHz networks, practically also how to scan for both 2.4 and 5 GHz networks simultaneously. Now let's dive into the practicals. So type sudo AeroDump ng space 2 hyphens, type band. The band parameter allows us to specify the frequency band that you want to scan for. I want to scan the 5 GHz frequency band or Wi-Fi networks. So type A. As we discussed in the previous video, A represents the 5 GHz frequency band. Now specify name of the monitor mode, which is WLAN 0 mon. Now this particular AeroDump command is only going to discover and display the 5 GHz Wi-Fi networks or Wi-Fi networks using the 5 GHz frequency band. Remember guys, your wireless network adapter must support the 5 GHz band. Then only the AeroDump will be able to scan and list the 5 GHz networks. Press enter. As you can see, AeroDump has detected the 5 GHz network. It is still scanning. If it finds other 5 GHz Wi-Fi networks, then those will be listed as well. Now, how do you exactly know whether AeroDump is scanning the 5 GHz networks or frequency band? Well, check out this particular section, CH. It is showing the range of channels that it is scanning. The range of 5 gigahertz channels is from 36 to 165. On the other hand, range of 2.4 gigahertz channels is from 1 to 14. As you can tell, it is scanning between 36 to 165. So guys, that's how you can scan and detect only 5 gigahertz networks. Now I live in a very remote area, that's why I only have very few 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi networks. If you live in a densely populated area, then you might see a lot of 5 gigahertz networks. Now let's scan the 2.4 gigahertz networks. I'm gonna exit out of arrow dump by pressing Ctrl plus C. Now by default, the arrow dump scans for the 2.4 gigahertz networks. If you don't specify the band parameter, then by default it is gonna scan for 2.4 gigahertz networks. However, you can explicitly specify if you want to scan the 2.4 gigahertz band. So type band and specify G. G represents the 2.4 gigahertz band. Press enter. As you can see, this time it is only scanning the networks that use 2.4 gigahertz frequency band. As you can see, the channel section. Now let's scan both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz bands. To scan both, we need to provide A and G values to the band parameter. As you can see, I have specified A, which represents 5 gigahertz, and G, which represents the 2.4 gigahertz frequency band. Now this particular command is going to scan for both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi networks. Remember guys, when you scan the multiple bands, it also increases the load on your system resources like RAM and processor. Press enter. Now check out the channels section. It is scanning the both bands from 1 to 14 and 36 to 165. That's how guys you can scan a particular band or multiple bands. That's it for this video guys. Thank you very much for watching. In this video, we are going to discuss the four-way handshake. In a wireless network, data is transmitted through the air using radio waves, right? Since the data travels through the air, it is always vulnerable to interception. If the network is not properly protected, hackers can easily intercept and steal your information by capturing the unencrypted or unprotected data. This can lead to compromised devices and stolen personal information across the network. Therefore, we need a mechanism to protect the data. As we have seen in the previous video, data can easily be intercepted. This is where the four-way handshake comes in. It refers to the initial exchange of 4 packets between a client device like your laptop or phone and a wireless access point you are trying to connect to. As we discussed in the cryptography section, keys or encryption keys are used to encrypt data, right? So to encrypt wireless data, we need encryption keys. The four-way handshake is the process of generating encryption keys. Encryption keys generated by a successful four-way handshake are also known as session keys. The keys generated during the four-way handshake are used to encrypt data between the client device and wireless access point. The four-way handshake establishes a secure connection between client device and a wireless network so they can communicate securely over an encrypted channel. After a successful four-way handshake, the client device and the wireless access point can communicate securely. This allows the client to access the internet securely. Data gets encrypted, and even if attackers intercept this encrypted data, they will only see scrambled or encrypted information, not the original data itself. Now, to hack a Wi-Fi network, we need to capture four-way handshake. Capturing four-way handshake is essential. Four-way handshake contains all the necessary details to initiate the password cracking process. By capturing, we mean intercepting a successful four-way handshake. The four-way handshake is essentially the exchange of four packets between a client device and a wireless router or wireless access point. We need to intercept four packets of four-way handshake to initiate the password cracking. The encryption keys used to encrypt traffic are derived from a combination of Wi-Fi password, SSD, MAC address of the access point, MAC address of the client, and nonce values among other elements. All this information is used to generate the encryption keys or session keys. These elements undergo a cryptographic function to generate session keys, which encrypt data during the Wi-Fi session. It is important to note that these elements are not directly combined to generate session or encryption keys. Instead, they go through four distinct steps within four-way handshake process. I'm not going to cover the entire four-way handshake in detail because it requires a separate crash course to fully understand it. To crack Wi-Fi password and learn the process, you don't need to understand the exact steps. They are not essential at all. Understanding the concept and its function is sufficient. This video is going to be very important. In this video, we will capture a four-way handshake. Capturing a valid four-way handshake is essential for cracking the password. Without a valid four-way handshake, we can't initiate the password cracking process. First, we need to capture the four-way handshake and save it to a file. Once captured, then this file can be used to launch the password cracking attack. First thing that we need to do is collect some essential information about the target network. We need certain information to hack or test a Wi-Fi network, such as its MAC address and channel number. So type sudo aerodump ng. Now specify name of your monitor mode, which is WLAN 0 MON for me. Now aerodump command is going to discover and display all the available Wi-Fi networks within the range of my wireless network adapter. Press enter. Now keep scanning until your target network appears in this list. As you can see, my target network has already been detected, which is this Sunny. I'm gonna test or hack my own Wi-Fi network. Once your target network gets detected, then you can exit the aerodump. Now I'm gonna note down the MAC address and channel number of my target network in a file. So let me open a new terminal tab and I'm gonna open Nano to note down the details. MAC address and channel number. Let me copy the MAC address. This is the MAC address of my target network, which is Sunny. Let me paste it here. And the channel number is 9. Now we need to monitor the network traffic of our target network. So type sudo space aerodump ng space 2 hyphens BSSID. BSSID refers to the MAC address. Now here we need to specify the MAC address of your target network. So what I'm gonna do is copy the MAC address of my target network and paste it here. Now type -C. -C stands for channel. Now provide the channel number where your Wi-Fi network is broadcasting on. Mine is on 9 space. Now specify the right parameter. Right parameter allows us to save the captured packets into a file. Now specify name of the file. I'm gonna specify handshake. The arrow dump is going to save the packets that it captures in this specified file handshake. The file will be saved in your current working directory. Now what basically is going to happen? The arrow dump is going to monitor or capture the network traffic of this particular Wi-Fi network. Then the packets that it captures will be saved to this file called handshake. And of course at the end you have to specify the monitor mode name, which is WLAN0 MON for me. Now press enter. As you can see guys, check out the channel. It is fixed at 9, so it is only capturing all the traffic going through this specified Wi-Fi network, then saving that to the specified file, which is handshake. Now the primary target of this video is to capture handshake, right? So how to capture the four-way handshake? Either a new device has to connect to the target network, or an existing device has to disconnect then reconnect to the network. So as soon as a new device connects or reconnects to the network, then the four-way handshake will be captured. Let me demonstrate this. What I'm gonna do is, I am already connected to my network, right? Let me disconnect from the network. Now as soon as I reconnect, the four-way handshake will be captured. Let me reconnect. Click on connect. As you can see guys, WPA handshake, the four-way handshake for this Wi-Fi network has been captured. Now we don't need to monitor the network traffic anymore. Once you capture the four-way handshake, you can exit. Press Ctrl+C to exit out of the arrow dump. Now let me ls. As you can see guys, we have handshake files with different formats like .csv, netxml and .cap. Now the file that we need is this handshake.cap. We need this file to initiate the password cracking process. Before that, we have to actually verify whether the four-way handshake is valid or not. It can be done using Wireshark. Let me copy the handshake01.cap file. I'm gonna open it in Wireshark. So type Wireshark, paste the file name or type the file name, press enter. Now in the filter bar, type EAPOL, press enter. Now EAPOL stands for Extensible Authentication Protocol over LAN. It is a network communication protocol used for authenticating network devices. Now here, as you can see, we have 4 packets being exchanged between a wireless device and the Wi-Fi network. We have exact 4 packets. It means the four-way handshake was successful, because a successful four-way handshake exchanges 4 packets between a wireless device and the Wi-Fi network or wireless access point. Now guys, this four-way handshake is extremely important. Four-way handshake is required to initiate the password cracking process. Okay, so keep this handshake.cap file safe. We are gonna need it later when we will crack the Wi-Fi password. Now guys, as you can tell, this method of capturing four-way handshake is not very efficient, right? We have to wait someone to connect to the network, or someone to disconnect from the network then reconnect. It can be time consuming. We will address this problem in the next video. In this video, we will discuss the deauthentication attack, which is essential for capturing four-way handshake and launching advanced attacks like evil twin attacks. Therefore, it is important to understand how it works. In the previous video, we captured a four-way handshake, right? To capture four-way handshake, either a new device needs to connect to the network or an existing device needs to disconnect and then reconnect to the network, right? Here we have an obvious problem, right? In most cases, people are already connected to the network and new client devices may take a lot of time to connect. There you have to wait patiently. Now, to address this problem, we have something called a deauthentication attack. A deauthentication attack works by disconnecting devices that are already connected to the network. In simpler terms, the deauthentication attack kicks off or disconnects devices from the network by sending deauthentication frames to all devices on the network. Once you disconnect devices, most devices reconnect automatically, right? So as soon as client reconnects, whether manually or automatically, the AeroDump NG captures four-way handshake. Deauthentication frames, as we discussed in the fundamentals section, are used to disconnect devices from the network. How a deauthentication attack basically works: the attackers pretend to be the router or access point by spoofing the router's MAC address and SSID or its name. They then send deauthentication frames to the devices connected to the network on behalf of the router. The attacker uses router's MAC address and sends deauthentication frames to the connected devices. When client devices receive deauthentication frames, they assume the frames are sent by the router or network. They immediately disconnect as soon as they receive the deauthentication frames. And when the user or client device reconnects, the four-way handshake gets captured. There is no default mechanism to verify whether the frames are coming from a legitimate router or attackers. Only latest 802.11x standard has automatic protection against deauthentication frames by default. That's how deauthentication attack works and is used by hackers. We will continue where we left off in the previous video. In this video, we will learn how to capture the four-way handshake using the deauthentication attack and also fix the common errors you may encounter during the deauthentication attack. A deauthentication attack serves two purposes: one, capturing the four-way handshake, and two, disrupting the network services. Now let's dive into the practicals. Make sure that your wireless card is in monitor mode. I have already enabled monitor mode. Let me verify that. Type IP space A, press enter. As you can see, WLAN 0 mon. My card is already in monitor mode. Once your card is in monitor mode, we should be good to go. First thing that I'm gonna do is collect the MAC address and channel number of my target network. We are gonna need both for launching a deauthentication attack as well as monitoring the traffic of my target network, which will help us to capture the four-way handshake. So type sudo AeroDump ng space. Now specify name of your monitor mode, which is WLAN 0 mon for me. Press enter. Now keep scanning until your target network appears in this list, and mine has already been detected. As you can see, my target network is Sunny. Press Ctrl plus C to exit out of AeroDump. I'm gonna note down the MAC address and channel number of my target network. So let me copy the MAC address and I'm gonna open a new terminal tab, type nano, and I'm gonna note down the details in this file. Press Ctrl Shift plus V to paste, and the channel number is 5. Now I'm gonna monitor the traffic of my target network. So type sudo aerodump ng space, type bssid. Now copy and paste the MAC address of your target network. After bssid, paste the MAC address. Now type C. C is for channel number. Now type the channel number of your target network, which is 5 for me, space. Now type the right parameter. As we already discussed in the previous practical video, it allows us to save the packets that aerodump captures to a file. So specify a file name where you want to save the packets. 4-way handshake. By default, this file will be saved in my current working directory. And the last thing that aerodump needs is the name of your monitor mode, which is WLAN 0 mon for me. So this particular aerodump command is going to monitor the traffic of this specified Wi-Fi network, and the packets that it captures will be saved to this specified file 4-way handshake. Now press enter. As you can see, it is capturing the packets and saving them into the specified file. Now we need to launch the deauthentication attack. So keep this aerodump command running. I'm gonna open a new terminal tab. Now to execute the deauthentication attack effectively, we need to configure the network card to the channel number where the target network is operating. Sometimes you will encounter errors like WLAN 0 mon is on channel N and AP uses another channel. To fix this problem, we need to set the wireless card to the channel number of your target network. So type sudo iw config space. Now specify name of your monitor mode, then channel. Now type the channel number where your target network is operating. For me it is 5. This command is going to configure the wireless card to listen on channel number 5 or whatever channel number you specify. It will stick to this specific channel number and won't hop to others. Now press enter, provide your password, and the command has been executed successfully. Now we are ready to launch the deauthentication attack. So type sudo airplay ng. Now airplay ng is also part of the aircrack suite. It is used for generating deauthentication packets or frames. Now space 2 hyphens, type deauth. The deauth parameter allows us to generate deauthentication packets. Now you have to tell deauth parameter how many deauthentication packets you want to generate. Let's say 100. So deauth will generate 100 deauthentication packets or whatever number you specify here. Now type A. A is for access point. Now we need to specify the MAC address of the access point or target network. And let me copy the MAC address of my target network and paste it here. Now type WLAN 0. Type the name of your monitor mode. So that's all the airplay ng command needs. Now let me break down this entire command. The airplay ng is going to generate 100 deauthentication packets, then send those packets to the devices that are connected to this Wi-Fi network or access point. And when the devices receive the deauthentication packets, they will automatically disconnect, and when they reconnect, then the aerodump is going to capture the 4-way handshake, because we are monitoring the traffic of that network, right? Make sure that the aerodump command is running. Now let me press enter. As you can see guys, it is sending the deauthentication packets to this Wi-Fi network. Now as you can see guys, my device has been disconnected. Now what happens if I reconnect to my network? Let me switch to AeroDump. Let me reconnect to my network. Click on connect. Now it is not able to reconnect because the deauthentication attack is still going on. As you can see, as long as this deauthentication attack is ongoing, devices will not be able to connect or reconnect to the network. Let me attempt to reconnect again. No, deauthentication attack will stop after sending the 100 packets. As you can see, it has sent the 100 packets. Now let me attempt to reconnect. Now it should work. Click on connect. As you can see guys, it has successfully captured the 4-way handshake. So guys, that's how the deauthentication attack works. It sends the deauthentication packets to the devices connected to your target network and forces them to disconnect, and when they reconnect, the AeroDump captures the 4-way handshake. Now that we have captured 4-way handshake, we don't need to AeroDump keep running. So I'm gonna exit it by pressing Ctrl+C. Again, back to the deauthentication attack. The number that you specify after deauth parameter, it will generate and send those many packets. If I specify, let's say 10,000, then it will generate 10,000 deauthentication packets. Now there is another way to execute the same deauthentication attack. What you can do is specify 0, then 0. Now what AirPlay-ng is going to do, the -0 is short for deauth parameter, and when you provide the value 0, then AirPlay-ng is going to send unlimited or infinite deauthentication packets. Let me press enter. Now it is going to keep sending the deauthentication packets unless you stop it manually, right? So to stop this deauthentication attack, you have to exit manually. So press Ctrl+C to exit out of the AirPlay-ng. As I mentioned, the -0 is short for deauth parameter. You can also specify a specific number to it. Let's say 5, 6. It will generate 6 deauthentication packets this time. And it should stop after generating 6 deauthentication packets, as you can see. So guys, that's how you can execute a deauthentication attack. Now let me type ls. As you can see guys, the AeroDump has generated all these files. The only file that we are gonna need is this file with .cap extension. We will need this for cracking the Wi-Fi password or initiating the password cracking process. This is very important. So what I'm gonna do is copy this file to my desktop. Let me copy it, type cp, and now specify the name of the destination directory, desktop. D is in uppercase, press enter. Let me change my directory to desktop. ls, as you can see, here is the file. We are gonna need this file for initiating the password cracking process. So make sure that you keep the 4-way handshake file that you captured. In this video, we will discuss several topics, including what a word list is, a dictionary and brute force attacks, and how Wi-Fi password cracking works. Understanding these attacks is essential for both protecting your network from such threats and effectively following the practical demonstrations in the next video. In a dictionary attack, a hacker attempts to crack the password by using a word list. Now, a word list is essentially a text file that contains thousands or even millions of potential passwords. There is a very popular word list called rock.txt. Rock.txt word list contains millions of real-world passwords. The passwords stored in the rocky.txt come from multiple sources, such as most commonly used passwords, weak passwords chosen by users, and passwords that were leaked online after a security breach. These passwords are still in use today. Most importantly, rocky.txt is not a list of random guesses, but the actual passwords used in the real world. Similarly, all other word lists also use common passwords or those leaked after a breach. Let's briefly discuss how word lists are used to crack Wi-Fi passwords. The tool used for cracking Wi-Fi passwords is AirCrackNG. AirCrack uses a word list to crack the wireless network key or password. First, we need to capture a valid four-way handshake. Once the handshake is captured, AirCrackNG uses a word list to perform a dictionary attack. When a tool uses a word list to crack a password, it is called a dictionary attack. The way AirCrackNG works is it reads passwords from a word list, then hashes each password using the same algorithm as the WPA2 protocol. These hashed passwords are compared to the captured four-way handshake. If a match is found, the password is cracked. Remember, in a dictionary attack, the password can only be cracked if it is present in the word list. If the correct password is not there, the attack will fail. This is a very basic overview of how it all actually works, but it is enough for you to understand how the cracking works. Explaining everything in detail would require a crash course in cryptography, which is beyond the scope of this course. Now let's discuss a brute force attack. A brute force attack involves trying every possible combination of characters or numbers for a password. For example, if a password is 8 characters or digits long, a brute force attack would test all possible 8 character or digit combinations until the correct password is found. Eventually, there will be one correct password among all possible combinations. AirCrackNG can perform both brute force and dictionary attacks. Dictionary and brute force attacks are different. A dictionary attack uses a pre-made list of common or leaked passwords to guess the correct password. On the other hand, a brute force attack tries every possible combination of characters until the correct password is found. In this video, we are finally going to learn how to crack the Wi-Fi password or initiate the password cracking process. Before we do that, remember that you need a valid four-way handshake file to begin or start the password cracking process. I already have captured a valid four-way handshake. If you already have a valid four-way handshake file, then we are good to go. If you don't, you need to capture the four-way handshake first. It is an essential component required for password cracking. Now let's dive into the practicals. I have saved my four-way handshake file in my desktop. So I'm gonna change my directory to desktop. I recommend you do the same. Switch your directory to where you have the four-way handshake file saved. Ls, as you can see, here is my four-way handshake file. Now we are good to go. Type sudo aircrackng. Aircrackng, as the name suggests, it is used for cracking passwords or Wi-Fi passwords, to be specific. Now AirCrack needs minimum 2 options: a valid four-way handshake and a word list. So first parameter that it needs is the four-way handshake. So specify name of the four-way handshake file. I'm gonna copy it and paste it here. And if you have four-way handshake file stored in another directory, then specify path to that directory. Since I have four-way handshake file in my current working directory, I only need to specify the file name. Now second parameter that it needs is the word list that you want to use for cracking the password. Kali Linux has many built-in word lists, and one of them is roku.txt. Roku.txt is probably the most popular word list in world. So we have to specify the path to roku.txt. Before we do that, there are a few things that we need to do. Open a new terminal tab. We need to change directory to word lists. So type cd user share. The word lists are stored in this directory called word lists. This is the complete path. Press enter. ls. Here, as you can see, guys, we have roku.txt.gz file. For now, the roku.txt is zipped. In order to use a roku.txt file, first we need to unzip it. Then we will be able to use it with aircrack-ng or any other Kali Linux tool. To unzip, type sudo gunzip space. Now specify name of the roku.txt.gz file. Now gunzip is going to unzip this roku.txt.gz file. Press enter. It will take a few seconds to unzip. ls. As you can see, guys, roku.txt file has been unzipped. Now roku.txt has probably more than 1 million passwords. What I'm gonna do is check how many passwords are stored in this roku.txt file. So let me pipe the output of cat command to wc command. So type pipe character. Now wc-l. Press enter. As you can see, guys, the roku.txt has over 1 million passwords. No, not 1 million, rather over 14 million passwords stored inside this roku.txt file. I can't view the passwords of roku.txt file because if I open this file, then the terminal will crash. The terminal will not be able to handle these many lines. But what I'm gonna do is check the, let's say, first 10 passwords. It is easy. Type cat roku.txt, pipe it to head command -n, let's say 100. The head command is going to display the first 100 lines or passwords in this file. Press enter. As you can see, guys, these are the passwords in the roku.txt file. There are millions of such common passwords. Now we need to specify path to this roku.txt file in aircrack-ng. So back to the aircrack-ng. Now after providing the name of four-way handshake file, specify w. W stands for word list. Now you have to specify path to the word list. So type /user share /word lists, then roku.txt. Let me resize my terminal a bit. Now aircrack-ng is going to initiate the password cracking process and it will use this specified word list. Make sure that you have provided a valid four-way handshake file and correct path to roku.txt word list. Now press enter. As you can see, guys, the aircrack has started the cracking process. It is currently testing around 550 or 600 passwords per second. But this number can be different and significantly higher for you if you have a high-end computer. As you can see, guys, key found. This is what a cracked password looks like. This is the password of my Wi-Fi network. Now I can use this password or key to access my Wi-Fi network or access my cracked Wi-Fi network. Remember, guys, the success of a dictionary attack depends on whether the password is in word list or not. If the password is in the word list, then it will be cracked. If not in the word list, then it won't be cracked. Now, passwords that contain only numbers are very easy to crack. In fact, a purely numerical password can be cracked within minutes without any problems. Like this, the numerical passwords are easiest and most vulnerable to cracking. However, if a password is stronger and includes numbers, letters, special characters, uppercase and lowercase characters, such passwords are very hard to crack, often impossible to crack. Even passwords based on common characters can still be vulnerable, but it takes significantly longer time to crack. I know this is very simple. I just wanted to show you how to use a word list to crack passwords. We will use more effective and sophisticated password hacking techniques in the upcoming video. Thank you very much guys for sticking around. In the previous two sections, we have seen how attackers can exploit or hack Wi-Fi networks using various methods, right? Now in this section, I will demonstrate how to detect and protect your network from all possible Wi-Fi attacks. This is the first video of the section. In this particular video, we will focus on detecting deauthentication attacks. The deauthentication attacks are central to both dictionary and evil twin attacks, right? The evil twin attack specifically depends on a successful deauthentication attack to function properly. Without a successful deauthentication attack, the evil twin attack is not impactful at all. Therefore, if we can detect the deauthentication attack, it makes safeguarding the network easier. In this video, we will learn how to detect deauthentication attacks using Wireshark. Now let's jump into the practicals. I'm gonna execute the deauthentication attack on my own network and then capture packets or deauthentication packets in Wireshark. Before we do that, we need some network details to launch the deauthentication attack, such as the MAC address of the target network and the channel number where it is broadcasting on. Now let me scan all Wi-Fi networks around me so I can note down the required details to launch the deauthentication attack. Aerodump ng. Now specify the name of your monitor mode. As you can see guys, my target network has appeared in this list. This is the network Sunny. I want to execute the authentication attack on my network. Now once your target network appears here, press Ctrl+C to exit. Now I'm gonna open a new terminal window and note down the details. MAC address. This is the MAC address of my target network. Now let me note down the channel number where it is broadcasting on. Channel number is 11. Now we need the MAC address if you use the AirPlay ng to execute the authentication attack, and if you use MDK4 then you only need channel number. I'm gonna use the MDK4. So type sudo MDK4 space, specify the name of your monitor mode. Now D is for deauthentication attack. It launches the deauthentication attack. Now -C is for channel number. You have to specify the channel number where your target network is broadcasting on. For me it is 11. Now guys, before I execute this attack, I'm gonna open my Wireshark so we can capture the deauthentication packets. Later we will analyze those packets to identify the attack. And now in this window of interfaces, you will see the monitor mode. Here as you can see, WLAN 0 mon. So double click on your monitor mode. And as you can see, Wireshark has started capturing the network traffic. Remember, the Wireshark is capturing all the network traffic. So count for captured packets will easily go in thousands within a few seconds. Now let me execute the deauthentication attack. Let me press enter. As you can see, it is sending a plenty of deauthentication packets per second, over 1000 per second on average. Wireshark is capturing everything. So guys, when you put your card into the monitor mode, you will not be able to identify the deauthentication attack because Wireshark literally captures all your network traffic. Now what I'm gonna do is stop the capturing packets, click on the red button, and I'm gonna stop the deauthentication attack as well. So we literally have over 100,000 packets, as you can see. Now detecting the deauthentication packets among these thousands of packets is very difficult. Here we can use something called a filter. We need to use the filter for displaying only the deauthentication packets. So filter for that is type wlan 0.fc.type underscore then subtype equal to 12. Now in management frames, the subtype 12 represents the deauthentication frames and 11 represents the authentication frames, right? We discussed this in the fundamentals section. Now press enter. This filter will display only the deauthentication frames or packets. As you can see guys, under the info column, these are all deauthentication frames. We literally have thousands of deauthentication frames. So it is certainly a deauthentication attack, right? Remember, a router or wireless access point never sends this many deauthentication frames. In case of some maintenance or troubleshooting, it typically sends maybe 50 or something deauthentication frames. But if the count for deauthentication frame is anything above 50, then it certainly is a deauthentication attack. Now click on any deauthentication packet, and at the bottom, let me expand the 8011 deauthentication flags. Now here we have a field called type subtype deauthentication. In bracket we have a hexadecimal number 0x000C. If you convert this hexadecimal number into decimal, you will get 12. Now here we have the transmitter address, which is this MAC address. Now if I go back to my details that I have noted down, as you can see guys, this is the same MAC address. It means the deauthentication frames are coming from this MAC address. This MAC address or device is sending the deauthentication packets. Now this is the MAC address of the target router or target network, but here the router did not send these deauthentication frames, right? It is the attacker who basically masked or spoofed this MAC address, then sent the deauthentication frames on behalf of the network or target network. So guys, that's how you can basically detect the deauthentication frames in Wireshark. This is as easy as that. Now this method of detecting deauthentication attack is not very efficient, because when you put your card into the monitor mode and capture packets using Wireshark, the Wireshark essentially captures thousands of packets, right? The count for captured packets will easily go in millions, and at some point Wireshark will eventually crash if you keep capturing packets for a longer period of time. So in the next video, I will show you an efficient way to detect deauthentication attack. Wireshark is a complicated tool, right? So in this video, I'm gonna simplify Wireshark for absolute beginners. So guys, if you are someone who is new to Wireshark or struggling with it, then trust me, by the end of this video, you will be able to use Wireshark efficiently. Wireshark is a special tool used for monitoring computer networks. Wireshark helps you to see what is happening when your computer sends and receives data. It monitors or captures all the network traffic. Wireshark is of course free and open source tool. Wireshark is a must-know tool for security analysis. It is often used to detect and analyze network security threats such as hacking attempts, unauthorized access to sensitive data, and it can easily identify attacks or suspicious traffic on your network. It is a go-to tool for cybersecurity analysts. Wireshark can be used to analyze network traffic in real time to identify and resolve network-related problems such as slow performance, dropped packets, and other connectivity-related issues as well. Developers can use Wireshark to understand how protocols work and identify issues related to their implementation. These are just, the main uses of Wireshark. It is a very vast tool. It can be used for, many other things. Now, to download and install Wireshark, go to the wireshark.org. Click on download. Here we have files for Linux, Mac, and Windows. So download the appropriate file according to your operating system. Here, as you can see, guys, we do not have files for 32-bit systems, right? This is because Wireshark 4.0 or higher versions do not support 32-bit systems, right? So if you have an older computer or 32-bit system, then you have to download this file 3.6.11. So click on this down arrow. From here you can download 32-bit file for your operating system. And I'm not gonna go through the installation steps because installation process is very simple on all operating systems. On Windows, make sure that you do not check or uncheck anything during the installation, right? Keep clicking on next, then your installation will be successful. If you come up with any problems during the installation or any part of the video, then let me know in the comment section and I will happily answer everything. Alright, so once your installation is complete, then open your Wireshark. And this is the welcome window of Wireshark. It displays all the installed network interface cards, and this list is going to be different for everyone. Most likely you are not gonna see all these local area connections because they are not real or physical cards. They are created by my virtual machines. Now, there are two inbuilt network cards on each system, Ethernet and wireless card. Ethernet is simply represented by Ethernet on Windows, and wireless card is represented by Wi-Fi. And on Linux, the wireless card is represented by WLAN 0 and Ethernet is represented by ETH0 on most Linux distributions. Now, to start capturing packets, you have to select one of these physical network cards. Now, which one exactly you have to select? Well, it depends on your connectivity, how you are connected to your network or how you are accessing the internet. I'm connected to my network through Wi-Fi or wireless card, so I'm gonna select Wi-Fi. As you can see, it is showing some spikes, right? These spikes are indicating that there are some activities going on this particular interface. We also have spikes on adapter for loopback traffic interface as well. Well, this is the local host. It does not capture your network's traffic. It only monitors your system traffic. This is not that important. Again, guys, I'm gonna select Wi-Fi to start capturing packets. So double click on the appropriate interface. As you can see, Wireshark is capturing packets, right? At the top, you can see capturing from Wi-Fi, right? Now, first thing that I'm gonna do is explain what all these different sections or components mean, what information they represent. So go to the view menu. Allows us to control the components that you want to appear in your display area. As you can see, Wireshark has already pre-selected some of the components for us. First three selected components are main toolbar, filter toolbar, and status bar. This is the main toolbar. It contains the functions that you are gonna use on a regular basis. I will get back to all these functions later in the video. Then we have filter bar. This is the filter toolbar. Here you can type your filters. Filters are basically used to hide unnecessary traffic. I will get back to filters later as well. For now, just remember that if you want to type and apply the filters, then this is the place where you can type the filters. Then we have a status bar at the bottom. This is the status bar. As you can see, it basically gives you a brief summary of captured or lost packets. Then we have packet list. This section is called packet list. Packet list displays or contains all the captured packets. Every single packet that Wireshark captures is going to be displayed or listed here. Then we have packet details. As you can see, guys, the packet list section only gives you a brief overview of each captured packet. Now, if you want to analyze packets in detail, then you can use packet details section. For example, let me stop the session first. I'm gonna click on packet number 139. Now, down here, packet details section is displaying a detailed information about the selected packet. As you can see, frame number 139. Now here you can analyze the selected packet in detail. Now let me click on different packets. As you can see, the information keeps changing as I click on different packets. Then we have packet bytes. On your right side, this section or panel is called packet bytes. It displays information in its raw or original form. Right, as you can see, the default format is hexadecimal, and you can also change it to a binary. So click on the blank space, click on as bits. Now as you can see, information is in raw binary. I'm gonna revert back to the hexadecimal format because it is a little more presentable than binary. And if your packet contains plain textual information, then that information will also be displayed here as it is in its raw form. Now go to the view. Let's say you do not want packet bytes section, then click on this packet bytes or whatever you want to hide. Now as you can see, it has been completely hidden. So to get it back, go to the view, again click on packet bytes. Now it is back here. Now let me walk you through what all these columns mean, right? So first column that we have is NO. NO is short for number. It basically displays the packet number. Each packet is going to have a unique number. As you can see, the first packet that Wireshark captures is automatically assigned number 1, second packet 2, and so on. Then second column is time. Time column displays the exact time when a packet was captured. Right now the default format for displaying time is not that presentable, right? So let's change it first. So go to the view. Now click on time display format. From first half, select time of the day. Again go to the view, time display format. From lower half, select seconds. Now as you can see, we have a much better or presentable format for displaying the timing of captured packets. Then we have source. Now source column displays the IP address of sender who has sent the packet. Destination column displays the IP address of receiver where the packet has been delivered. So let me select, let's say, packet number 30. Sender of the packet number 30 is this IP address 192.68, and it has delivered this packet to this device 35.3. Then protocol column displays the packet type, whether it is TCP, ICMP or UDP packet. length column displays size of each packet in bytes. Info column, it gives you a brief overview of each captured packet. So that's what all these columns mean. Now let's go through all the toolbar functions. Red button stops the current running session, and first button from left starts a new session. So click on it. As you can see, before starting a new session, Wireshark is asking me whether you want to save already captured packets. So I'm gonna click on save, then give it a file name, let's say packets. Now you don't have to write any extension after the file name. Remember, Wireshark automatically saves your packets with .pcap or pcapng extension. Pcapng is the default extension for saving Wireshark files. Click on save. Now a new session has been started. Then third button restarts a new session. So if you want to restart a new session when you already have a session running, then click on this button. And here also, if you want to save already captured packets, then click on save before continuing. This time I'm gonna go with continue without saving. Then fourth button is capture options. Capture options button cannot be accessed when you have a session running. So let me stop the session first. Now if I click on the capture option button, as you can see, now it is working. Now capture options window displays all the network interface cards, just like your welcome window. The only difference is that it gives you a much better control over interfaces. As you can see, we have additional options such as promiscuous mode and monitor mode. Okay, I will get back to capture options later. Then we have open a capture file button. So this button allows you to open a already saved file. So click on it. Now I'm gonna double click on the file that I saved a few seconds ago. So double click on the file. Now continue without saving. Now as you can see at the top, packets.pcapng, Wireshark is reading packets from this particular file. Then next button that we have is save this capture file. So this button basically gives you option to save your packets quickly. So click on the button, write the file name, then click on save. It will save the packets. Now another way to save packets is go to the file, click on save as, then next button is close. So close button takes you back to your welcome window, as you can see. So let me start the session again. Now next button that we have is find. So click on the button. It basically allows us to search for packets based on different types of values. As you can see, we have a drop down menu here. So click on the down arrow and let me start with, let's say, string. Now in this box, type a string or text, let's say payload. Now let me click on find. As you can see guys, it is highlighting the packet that contains the word payload right here, as you can see. So when you select the string option, whatever you type here, Wireshark is gonna search for that particular text or string in each packet. Wherever it finds the word payload, then it will highlight those packets. As you can see, for now it is highlighting packet number 55. Now if I click on find, it is highlighting the next packet that contains the word payload, like this. Then we have hex value option. Let me select it. Now here you can search by hexadecimal values as well. So let's say 4A. Now click on find. As you can see on the packet bytes panel, 4A is highlighted, and in the packet list section, Wireshark is highlighting the exact packet that contains this value. Then we have a display filter. We have not covered the display filters yet, right? Once you will learn display filters, then you will automatically learn to use this feature. For now, you don't have to worry about it. Then next two buttons that we have are right and left arrow. So right arrow button basically takes you one packet up from your current position. My current position is, let me click on 8. So if I click on left arrow button, it will take you one packet up, and right button is gonna take me one packet down from my current position. Then we have go to specified packet, click on the button. Here in the box, type the packet number, let's say 5, and click on go to packet. Then as you can see, it has taken me to the packet number 5. It is being highlighted. So whatever number you type in here in this box, Wireshark will take you to that particular packet. Then we have up and down arrow keys. The up arrow key is gonna take you to the first captured packet in the list. Click on it. As you can see, it is highlighting the first packet in the list, and down arrow key takes you to the last captured packet, right? Next button that we have is this automatically scroll to the last packet during live capture. So when you enable this button, it will automatically take you to the last packet that Wireshark captures during the live session. As you can see, it has this light blue background color, right? It means it is enabled, right? If I click on it, now it is disabled. It is advised that always keep it enabled. Now the next button basically enables the packet coloring. As you can see, we have packets with different colors, right? TCP packets have a different color and ARP packets have a different color. So what basically Wireshark does, it assigns a unique color to most commonly used protocols or filters, so we can easily identify the packets, right? So when I'm gonna see this light pink color, I can automatically recognize, yeah, this is an ARP packet. Now if you want to find out which color is associated with which filter or protocol, then go to the view, click on coloring tools. Now here you can basically see which color is associated with which filter or protocol. UDP protocol is going to have this light gray background color, so feel free to go through the list. You can even customize these colors. Let's say for ARP you want a different color, so click on the ARP, then down here click on background, then select a color of your choice, then click on OK, and after that click on OK, then color will be changed. In the same way, you can change foreground or text color as well. Select the color, click on OK, then click on OK. Changes will be applied right away. Then next buttons that we have are plus and minus. Plus button basically is used to increase the font size, as you can see, and minus button is for decreasing the font size, and button next to minus button sets the font size to default. If I click on it, as you can see, the font size has been set to the default. Now the last button resize or sets the packet columns size to default. As you can see, my destination column is overlapping the source column, right? Now if I click on this last button, as you can see, the size has been set to the default. Now I can see contents of each column easily. Filters are used to hide or filter out unnecessary traffic. For example, here as you can see, I have thousands of packets, right? Now let's say I only want to see HTTP packets in my packet list section. All other traffic is irrelevant or useless to me. In that case, if I manually try to locate every single HTTP packet among thousands of packets, then it is going to take a lot of time, right? So to solve this problem, we have something called filters. Filters allow us to exactly see what you want to analyze and see in your packet list section. For example, I only want to see HTTP packets. Then all I have to do is type a valid HTTP filter. Then Wireshark is only gonna show all the HTTP packets and other traffic will be hidden. So this is as simple as that. We have two types of filters in Wireshark: display and capture filters. Display filters are used or applied on already captured traffic. As you can see, I already have captured packets. Here I can apply the display filters, and I will get back to capture filters later. Now let's do some practical examples of display filters. Display filters can be written and applied here in the display filter bar. So I'm gonna start with filtering HTTP traffic. So traffic filter for filtering HTTP traffic is just HTTP. So type HTTP. As you can notice, when you type a correct or valid filter, Wireshark automatically changes background color to green. Green background means a valid filter. Now, if I type something that Wireshark does not recognize, then background color changes to pink. So green means valid, pink means invalid filter. Now, how to apply the filter? We have two options. First, press enter. Now, as you can see, filter has been applied. Under the protocol column, Wireshark is only displaying the HTTP traffic, because this is exactly what I have told Wireshark. Only show me HTTP traffic. Now, another way to apply filters is click on this right arrow on your right side. Click on it, then filter will be applied. You can clear filters by clicking on this cross button. Now, as you can see, we are back to the normal. Now let's filter, let's say, DNS packets. So filter for that is DNS. Hit enter. Now, as you can see, Wireshark is only displaying the DNS packets. Now I want to see, let's say, TCP packets only. So filter is TCP. As you can see, it is only showing the TCP traffic. In the same way, let's say I want to see UDP packets. So filter for that is UDP. Now let me see whether I have any ARP packets. So type the ARP, hit enter, and yeah, this is the ARP filter for filtering ARP packets. In the same way, you can filter all the possible network traffic. All you have to do is remember the protocol name, then type that in here in the filter bar. Now let's filter encrypted or HTTPS traffic. Your first guess might be HTTPS, right? As you can see, this is not a valid filter, right? So to filter secure or HTTPS traffic, then you have to type TLS. So press enter. As you can see, now Wireshark is showing all the encrypted traffic. TLS filter makes sense because HTTPS protocol is actually combination of HTTP and TLS. TLS takes the HTTP traffic, then encrypts it, and that makes the HTTPS protocol. Sorry, I forgot to add S. Now, till now, we have used or filtered one type of traffic only, right? Now, let's say I want to see ARP and DNS packets simultaneously. It can be done through something called operators or operator. So type DNS, then write OR and ARP. OR operator is used to combine multiple filters. So here I am basically telling Wireshark, if you find DNS packets or ARP packets, then show me all those packets. So if I hit enter, then Wireshark, as you can see, it is displaying all the DNS and ARP packets. In this way, you can combine as many filters as you like. So let me add another filter, TLS or ICMP. Okay, so feel free to add as many filters as you like. And OR operator can be written with two pipes as well, like this. UDP. This is also a valid filter, or ARP. See guys, the OR operator pretty much works as it works with programming languages. So here it can be used to combine multiple filters. Now let's use NOT operator. So type NOT and TCP. Now what does it mean? Not operator basically negates the value that you supply to it. Here I'm telling not operator that okay, don't show me TCP packets, show me everything but not the TCP packets. So if I hit enter, you are not gonna see any single TCP packets in the list, as you can see. And not operator can be written with exclamation symbol as well. So exclamation TCP, it is also a valid filter. Now let's filter traffic by port numbers. So type let's say TCP. I want to filter traffic on port number let's say 80 port is for HTTP, right? So if I hit enter, it is not a valid filter. Sorry, I forgot to add equal to signs. So port number 80 means it is going to list all the HTTP traffic. Here also you can use OR operator, or TCP dot port EQ means equal to 443. So EQ or equal to sign, both are same. So if you hit enter, now this time I'm telling Wireshark, if you find HTTPS or HTTP traffic, then list all those packets. So 443 port number is obviously for secure or HTTPS traffic. Now let's cover another very important filter called IP adder. IP adder filter is basically used for filtering traffic by IP addresses. Let's say you want to check all the packets that a particular IP address has sent or received. So write IP.adder equal to, then paste the IP address. Now this filter is gonna only display the packets that this particular IP address has sent or received. So if I hit enter, now as you can see under the source and destination column, right, you can use OR operator to combine multiple IP addresses. So let's say you want to check packets that multiple IP addresses have sent or received, then use OR operator IP.adder, let's say here 79. Now this filter is gonna display all the packets that these two IP addresses have sent or received. In this way you can combine as many filters as you IP addresses as you like. Now here also we can use not operator. So if I type not at the beginning, then what I'm telling Wireshark this time is do not show me packets that this particular IP address has sent or received. So if I hit enter, you are not gonna see this IP address in the packet list, as you can see, because we have clearly told Wireshark don't show me packets that have been sent or received by this IP address. And another important filter that I'm gonna teach you is contains. So type TCP, let's say contains, now within the double quotes write YouTube. Now what this filter is gonna do, it will check every single packet in the list and see whether the packets contain the word YouTube. If any packet contains YouTube, then that packet will be listed here. If I hit enter, and as you can see, there are no such packets that contain YouTube. Now let's try the DNS. Now as you can see, we do have DNS packets that contain YouTube. So as you can see, youtube.com. So this IP address visited this website YouTube, or it basically made DNS queries to youtube.com, right? Now let's move to the capture filters. Now capture filters allow you to have control over your traffic, what you want to capture. Capture filter, as the name suggests, you can basically tell Wireshark before starting a new session what you want to capture, right? By default, Wireshark captures all types of traffic floating on your network. Now let's say you only want to capture HTTP traffic, right? You don't want to capture any other traffic, just FTP or HTTP. Then you can tell it to Wireshark before starting a new session. Then Wireshark will only capture whatever traffic you tell it to capture. So you have to go back to your welcome window. Now, first thing that you have to do is select the interface where you want to capture the traffic. Then here, as you can see, we have the box where you can type the capture filter. Capture filters are different in terms of syntax from display filter. So if I type, let's say HTTP, then as you can see, it is not a valid filter, right? So to write a filter to capture HTTP traffic, then we have to write port, then port number 80. So port for HTTP is 80. So this filter is gonna capture the HTTP or traffic on port 80. Now to start capturing packets, double click on the interface. Now as you can see guys, at the top, capturing from Wi-Fi on port number 80. So it is only gonna capture traffic on 80. So let me visit, let's say this is an HTTP website. As you can see, not secure. It is capturing HTTP traffic. Now let me visit a website which uses HTTPS, let's say YouTube. As you can see, it is not capturing anything, right? So to confirm it further, let me apply the TLS filter. As you can see, TLS found nothing, because this filter, capture filter, is only gonna capture the HTTP traffic. Now back to the welcome window again. Another place where you can type the capture filters is go to the capture options. Now here, select the interface first, then write the filter. Here as you can see, at the bottom we have a box. So port number 80. Now let's say I want to capture FTP traffic, then you have to write the port number for FTP, which is 21. Here also you can use OR operator. So type port, now let's say 22. Now this time Wireshark is gonna capture both HTTP and SSH and FTP traffic. You can combine as many filters as you like here. And if you click on start, then it will start capturing traffic. Now, if you want to capture, let's say only TCP traffic, then you can directly write TCP. TCP and UDP filters are common for both display and capture filters, right? Let's say UDP. Now, let's say you only want to capture traffic that a particular IP address sends or receives. Then write the host filter, then paste the IP address. Now this filter is only gonna capture the traffic that this specified IP address sends or receives. So guys, that is it for filters. If you want to learn more about filters, then feel free to check my Udemy course, where I have covered a plenty of advanced filters.